Hey, everybody. How's it going? Don't know what just happened to our countdown. I don't know if that's a good sign. But
what a way to start her off.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Week 17, Packers versus Vikings. Catch you up super quick before the game starts. We do have inactives and actives. First of all, for the Packers, Devondre Campbell, Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson, Caleb Jones, and Brenton Cox Jr. They would be the inactives. And active tonight, notably, would be Jaden Reed, who actually had no injury designation at all. And then Darnell Savage and TJ Slayton, two questionables that are going to go tonight. For the Vikings, they are without Josh Dobbs. They decided to scratch him tonight. Jacqueline Roy, Chris Reed, Byron Murphy Jr., their number one corner, Jalen Naylor. And then, of course, on IR now would be tight end TJ Hawkinson. One last update for you before we really get going here. I'm sure you know by now, but just in case you don't. With the Steelers beating the Seahawks, if the Green Bay Packers win this week and next, they are in the playoffs. If they lose tonight, they're out. It's done. Finito. If they win tonight, they at least live to see next week. There are some scenarios where, like, they can win tonight and then lose against Chicago, and then they need like 8 other things to happen to make the playoffs. We're not going to worry about that. But basically, moral of the story, they control their own destiny. Win tonight, win next week. And they sneak into the playoffs. So, hello, everybody out there. Hello, hello. Nice to see everybody. Jacob, let's have a great night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy
Yes,
New
indeed.
Year.
We decided tonight, we talked about, like, should we wear a suit and a sparkly dress and all that kind of, it's New Year's, right? But we opted instead for let's go with some Lombardi Legend jerseys. I got on Nitschke. She's got on Taylor. It just felt better for the game that's at stake this evening. David saying we have the A game. Oh, the A team calling the game. Thanks. Good. Thank you, David. We do appreciate it. And then Chris Han Lombardi Swag. Look at that. He's got a new name. What's up, John and Claudia? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Chris. So thanks everybody for being here. Eager to get this game going. It's been a long week leading up to this one. Feels like the Panthers game was an eternity ago, especially with all the Joe Barry discourse. But oh my, what's up, Kirk? So here we are. Oh, and his son too.
Okay.
Okay.
The little boy.
Yeah, now they're leading this. All right.
Oh, Minnesota.
I mean, y'all stole that champ, but that's fine. All right. So, time to get rolling. Yep. Do your clap thing.
All right. Let's get the kickoff going.
So, and of course, the other news, Jair Alexander, he's not playing tonight. I didn't see any thing about him sprinting out to midfield and becoming a captain again tonight. So that's good.
Insane. I don't care if I'm suspended.
Yeah, he bought a ticket and then just ran out there.
Right.
But then, of course, you got Eric Stokes put on IR as well. So that guy right there, Keyshawn Nixon, Valentine and Valentine are in for a very, very busy evening as the starting corners. So here we go. Kickoff to Keyshawn Nixon, fielded in the end zone, and he brings it out, and he returns it, tries to break a tackle, but is brought down to about the 21-yard line. Mick saying, please catch up to Fran Tarkenton and tackle his scramble. Well, luckily, they are not going against Fran Tarkenton tonight. Tonight is Jaron Hall, 5th-round rookie out of BYU, who is making his first career start for the Vikings tonight. But Packers get started with the ball. J-Love and company get to going right away.
All right. So we got J-Love in shotgun.
Empty set already, 1st and 10. Love takes a snap at shotgun. Oh, we're taking a shot.
Out.
And it's too deep. Incomplete pass winds up overthrowing Jaden Reed. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Okay.
What a way to
we're
going, I guess.
I like taking a shot first. That works. But yeah, no. Love and Reed not on the same page there. Look at those numbers, though. Beautiful season numbers for Jordan Love. And he may very well find himself a Pro Bowler this year. I do believe.
Hand off to Aaron Jones, who gains 3.
Mm-hmm. Gains 3 as he runs into the back of his offensive lineman. Chris Hand saying, "Don't worry, I will come up with something to substitute for Skull to make Minnesota fans mad. I'll come up with something." Half warning, half promise from Chris. Looking forward to it.
Just scream Super Bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
Done.
I mean, I did add on the bottom ticker a Super Bowl count just in case any Viking fans make their way in here.
All right. Jordan Love takes the ball.
Whoa!
Romeo Dobbs with the catch.
Yeah, Packers quickly found themselves in 3rd and 7. Love dropping back in shotgun and finding Dobbs, who kind of slungshot his body towards the ball there. Incomplete. Yep, he dropped it. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Glad to see you here. I mean, that would have been one hell of a catch by Dobbs to completely twist his body around and make that catch. But to no avail. So Dan Whelan, the Irishman, coming on for the punt.
Unfortunately, short first drive.
Yeah, 3 and out wasn't exactly the way they scripted that up, I'm sure.
No, I don't believe so, but hopefully the defense can figure something out against this rookie.
Mm-hmm. And fair call by the Vikings at the 23. So, like I mentioned, 5th round rookie Jaron Hall. Packers did actually see him once. He's the guy who came in for relief of Kirk Cousins in week 8 when Cousins tore his Achilles, and he went 3 for 4 with rather meaningless yards against Green Bay. The game was already pretty well done. So the Packers have seen him very, very briefly, but this is his 3rd appearance in a game. And I talked about him a bunch in the game preview. Kind of DeVito-like, so just be ready for that if you didn't catch the preview. Yeah.
All right, fake to a running back, and now he's going to be a running back. Gain of 5?
Gain of a few on the right sideline there, yeah, for sure. And Rashawn Gary was ready for the run because he went after the running back there, like completely bit on the running back. Well, I mean, and normally one of flaws in Gary's game is not setting the edge at all. So to see him go after the running back that aggressively, I mean, I guess that's something. So 2nd and 5 now for Minnesota.
All right, who was that?
Handoff to Ty Chandler, Minnesota starting running back. He gains about 3 going up the middle.
3rd and short.
Rashawn Gary again in pursuit of the running back. Yeah, Minnesota not only has had a revolving door at quarterback, they've also had a number of running back problems. They acquired Cam Akers in a trade. He got hurt, out for the year. Alexander Madison was supposed to be the heir apparent to Dalvin Cook, and he's been fine, dealing with a few injuries of his own. But Ty Chandler is the guy who's come on as of late, started the season really kind of far down the depth chart, but now he's there. He is their starting back.
Whoa.
Preston, go! There we go.
Almost a sack on Hall, and then that pass that he did throw was managed to be broken up. Preston Smith in pursuit of Hall. Scott, I see your. Yes, we're trying to switch it up. No, John is
he's here.
Some things he needs to eat an onion. So many of you wanted me to. So he is a quick getaway channel in case he needs to go back up some left lung.
Yeah, also realizing I can't yell as I normally do, so this is going to be fun. All right, booming punt over the head of Jaden Reed goes out of the at least into the end zone for a touchback. So Packers going to be taking over the ball. 2 quick 3 and outs to get this game going. Hey, you know what? It's less than ideal offensively, but defensively, hey, that's
keeps up the entire game. That's perfect.
Yeah, it was something. That was good. So I will say too, I'm not going to plug it too much, but after this game, I'm doing a post-game report on Bleacher Report, exclusive in that app. So we'll jump off right after the game, and then if you want, whatever, I'll be there, just talking about the game. So. Steve, hello to you. Hi, John and Claudia and everyone. Deal with COVID over here. It sucks. And sitting on it's good. Yeah, this has been just like I don't know. I'm going on day 3 of this, and today is the worst day. So, woohoo!
Perfect timing.
Yeah. But hopefully you get better soon, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I had that once myself last year, but I've been lucky to only have it once, and yeah, it sucks. It's a rough go.
Knock on wood. Never have.
Lake Ebbles is here. What's up, Lake Ebbles?
Woo!
Sorry I'm late. Dinner plans got down to plan. A wild night. Found your channel and around the same time as the second Vikings game last year. What a year we had. Go Pack Go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Lake Ebbles. Always appreciate you being here. And yeah, I mean, hey, it's New Year's Eve. Like, totally understandable for dinner plans to bleed into the game a little bit.
Normal people, going out for dinner.
I'm just going to say, too, because there's not much to talk about with the game yet. Like, I fully appreciate these holiday games for the Packers, but at the same time, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's is a touch excessive in the same year. Like, it's okay for us to have holidays without a game once in a while. Like, looking forward to next year when hopefully the calendar looks a little bit more normal. And Chris Ann saying he remembers the onion conversations. Yeah, no onion for me, but you may see me dip out, inhale some cough drops or something as we go. So. All right. Well, this is quite the banner start to this game for both teams.
That's okay. I'm good for an uneventful game as long as we come out with a win. I don't need this to need biting nails and anything. I'm just fine with a very, very uneventful win.
Yeah, as long as it's a win.
Right?
Yeah. We don't need cardiac pack tonight.
No. Steve says, good news. Finally got me a Dontavian Wicks autographed.
Awesome, dude.
All right.
Awesome. I know you've been working on that for a while. Congrats, Steve. That's awesome.
All
right. Jordan Love under center for 1st and 10. Takes a snap. It's play action. He avoids some pressure, rolls out right, and completes it to tight end Tucker Kraft. Should be a gain of about 5 on the out up the right sideline, setting up 2nd and mid. And then, like Keble saying, almost every holiday game and multiple Thursday games was definitely a choice by this kid. Yeah. You ain't kidding, like Kebles. Yeah. I mean, I fully appreciate the amount of primetime games. I'm all for Sunday night football, Monday night football. It's just these holiday ones are like, whoo, it'd be cool to do a holiday. All right, 2nd and 5. Love basically in pistol formation here with Aaron Jones behind him. And never mind, Aaron Jones shifting up. We're in regular old shotgun now. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jones, who shimmies his way through the line, gains about 3.
Vikings read that pretty well, but Aaron Jones managed to squeeze his way for a couple yard gain.
Sets up 3rd and relatively short now for Green Bay. 11:40 to go in the first. Love making several adjustments at the line, getting ready for 3rd and 3 is officially how they marked it. Minnesota also yelling around, trying to figure out where to go. Notice, though, that Minnesota defenders are right up on the receivers for Green Bay, something we're not used to seeing. Oh, and more adjustments. Goodness gracious, 3, under 5 to go on the play clock. Love takes a snap, and he's looking left. He stays looking left, completes it to Romeo.
You should have
and I think they're giving him the first. Yeah.
All right.
Very nice catch on the quick hook by Romeo, and then to extend to make sure that he gets that first down Green Bay under 11 minutes to go in the first. Steve saying, I did like your list of DCs you mentioned the other night, John. Good. Really glad you enjoyed it, Steve. Yeah, I mean, that was a fun list to work on. Certainly a learning experience to go through all the other resumes. I know Lake Hebbles, I know you're here. I'm sorry I didn't include the D-line coach for the 49ers. I couldn't get there with you. But yeah, really glad you enjoyed that.
Pass off to Kraft, who manages to get the first down. I think he may have gone out like an inch before. We'll see how they mark that. Quick pass off to the right.
Yeah, just another out for Tucker Kraft. We'll take that all day.
I don't know if he got that. He may have stepped out just a little bit, but not a problem for his 2nd and extremely short. Hopefully.
Oh no!
Goodness!
No!
You're supposed to make your getaway quietly. It's not like a bull in a china shop.
Oh.
All right, quick pass to the left. Jaden Reed, gain of 3. Tucker Kraft did get that first down, so we are now 2nd. And we'll see how that gets marked. 2nd and 4.
Many things. Nimble ain't one of them. 2nd and 4.
I do love you, but you
Not even a little.
No. All right. Looks like Aaron Jones is off to the right of Jordan Love. Read in motion. Handoff to Aaron Jones. Gain of nothing.
Woo! That's up 3rd down. All right. Let's catch up here. Kebbles, according to Herman, Jordan is great versus the blitz, but he struggles versus sim pressure. Him and Sam from PFF thinks that's his final hurdle before being a for sure top 15 quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I think yes. Oh, here we go. Love in shotgun takes a snap, and he's looking over the middle.
Beautiful.
Complete pass. Over the to Bo. Bo, that a boy.
Beautiful first down.
So happy for Bo. They got to add him to the 53. Yeah, I mean, I agree in premise. His numbers against the blitz have gotten better and better as the year has gone on overall, for sure. That's probably one of the largest areas of development for Jordan Love to this point. And I think that there's a couple, let's say this, he's probably already in the conversation for being top 15. But I think there's a few
Jordan
more
Love
facets as well.
Got Jones in the backfield. Little toss back to Jones.
Oh, Jones has got to see him.
He's got the first
there we go.
About 5 yards more. Very, very nice.
Steve saying, okay, let's go Packers, the real Packers. Let's rock and roll. Absolutely. Not the imposters we've seen over the last month. Dan saying, oh, man, last 2 weeks you guys were synced with the game. Now you're back to play behind. Dan, nothing's different, man. Right. I'm sorry. Our settings are all the same. Chris saying, looking back at Dylan taking over for Jones' injury, I feel better when Dylan is on the field running the ball. The potential for big plays is certainly more there with Jones.
I think that's Dylan in right now, right on the right of
looks like it.
Jordan Love. Hand off to Dylan, who trucks through for a gain of 4, 3, 4. Something like that.
Yeah, Dylan overall does feel safer in a lot of ways running the ball. But Dylan just doesn't have the capacity to break one open like Aaron Jones does on any given carry.
Jones just knows how to weasel his way through things.
Well, and that's the thing with Jones is a lot of people think he's just a pure speed back, and he's not. We see defenders catch up to him routinely. He's not just pure sprint speed, but his wiggle is absurdly good.
All right, we got 11 shotgun. Dylan on his right. Oh, pass was deflected, incomplete.
Yep, batted away at the line, sets up a 3rd down. Catching up on a couple more comments here. Like a couple saying, Bo! Mm-hmm. Jeff Benjamin, been a good drive so far. Yes, indeed it has. Yes, indeed. Chris, woohoo, that was good timing. Even when you mention his name, I get a positive yard discount. And Ron Duffney. Hey, Ron. Hello. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. All right, now, 3rd and 8 for Green Bay. Let's see how they are. Love in shotgun. He's got trips off to the right, running back off to his left, as is Tucker Kraft on his left as well. He takes the snap. He drops back.
Ooh,
he looks right, but he's got to evade pressure, and he winds up lofting it up to Malik Heath, but it's just out of the reach of Heath. That goes down as an incomplete pass, setting up 4th and 8. All right. Ron, I like her. I think you mean her. I do too. I'm quite partial to her. Like Hebbles, AJ lost all of his ability to truck to the 3rd or 2nd level he had in 2020. We'll never forget the shot of him carrying 8 guys in the NFC Championship game. Yeah. We've seen it in rare spurts this year. It's just less frequent. But man, it's beautiful when he still does it. And I'm not sure why the change.
Anders Carlson for the field goal, and it is good.
There we go. Steve, man, I hate coughing. I'm with you. All right, let's update the score here. That does indeed give the Packers a lead of 3-0 over the Minnesota Vikings.
Need to continue to see Kirk Cousins. Ugly bare chest.
Ron, let's not make it weird, huh? All right, Steve. All right, we got 3 points on the road. Good start. Come on, D, play some football.
That's right.
Yep. So far, so good out of the D. We'll see if they can keep it going. All right.
Hope everyone is having a good New Year's Eve. Safe New Year's Eve. Everybody had a happy holiday season. Now that it's all coming to an end.
Yeah. Hopefully some people out there have some New Year's plans following the game. There will be time yet, at least where we are in Central Time Zone. Yeah, Chris, Mason Crosby today, huh? Crosby could have done the Packers a big old favor today. Instead, he just missed it, just wide left. But regardless, I mean, the Steelers, they did the favor instead. So Jeff Benjamin saying sleep is my plan after the game. Jeff, I don't blame you at all. Not even a little, Jeff. So you bring in the new year however you want. If sleep's that way. All right. Steve saying I like McDuffie starting. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not like the Campbell we've seen. I know he's dealing with injuries and everything that he's been saying for like 3 years now. But McDuffie does bring a certain presence to the inside linebacker position, doesn't he? A certain tenacity that we really haven't seen from Campbell much this year. We saw it all the time in Campbell's All-Pro year, but it just isn't there. It doesn't have the same intensity that it once did. And McDuffie, I like him as a future with Quay. And Quay seems to do better, too. I should note, Quay seems to do better when he's not the Robin to a Batman. Quay seems to do better when he's in the number one inside linebacker role. So something to keep in mind looking ahead to next year as well. Like Hebbles, in 2021, he mentioned he got bigger thighs. I noticed Henry always has little legs so he can keep his mass upright and harder to tackle. With AJ's being so low to the ground, I suspect it's why. And I think, it's all that same thing with the footing and how he's struggled with that. Certainly from the midway point on, he's done a much better job, not just instantaneously falling like he did in the early part of the year. And maybe that's in correlation how he lost some of his truck too. It's a really good point, like Hebbles. And then also saying those shoestrings are so good against him as he plays. Yeah. All right. So you just saw on your screen, Darnell Savage, he is active tonight. I don't wonder, given the Packers' rather precarious situation at cornerback, which Aaron Stokes out, if we actually see Darnell play a little bit of like a dime corner and kind of a second slot. Handoff now from Hall to Chandler, gains about 3 for the Minnesota Vikings. But I kind of speculated that that Savage may be doing some dime corner stuff, second in the slot, to kind of alleviate that, since they have better depth at safety right now than they do at corner.
2nd and 7 for Minnesota. Got LaFleur chit-chatting with the ref. No running back in sight for Hall. Takes the snap. Pressure is on. Accepted. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job.
The Packers actually got a pick. Oh my God. It's been so long. Wow. So they get the deflection. Hall, let's see who he was targeting here. Was targeting 84 for the Vikings. Yeah, and then deflected right off 84's hands because the pass was behind him. And then Corey Ballantyne gets the deflection. Whoo! Yeah.
It's out. They're home.
They actually got a turnover. Hot goodness. A nice play by Ballantyne.
Lick Keppels, Merry Christmas and a happy turnover.
Hey.
Oh, I love it.
All right. There we go. We're just going to take care of that.
All right. Jordan Love takes the snap, passes off to Reed, who is caught behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1.
Yay. By the way, just want to say, obviously, tonight's not our A game, but If you hear me sucking on a cough drop, I'm very close to the mic. If it's weird, just tell me. I'll adjust everything.
That's the one
I'll just get
minor
out.
inconvenience of switching seats is he's a lot closer to the mic.
Yeah.
So if you hear bodily functions, apologies.
Don't say it like that. And then Jacob saying, I'll take it how I can get it. An interception is an interception. Absolutely. Deflections count. And for a team like Green Bay that struggles getting those picks, we'll take them.
All right. 2nd and 10. Love takes the snap.
And Love's airing it out. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Touchdown to Jaden Reed. Love dropped back, and Reed was just streaking up the middle, right up the seam.
Beautiful.
Let's see a replay of that. Like Hebble's pointing out that Reed just broke Sharp's record for rookie receptions. What an accomplishment for Jaden Reed. Anytime you break anything, Sterling Sharp, that's a hell of a job. But
a nice cut to the middle.
I mean, Reed just ran right through the zone.
Yeah.
It's nice to see us do it to somebody else. But he cut right through the 2 levels of zone there for the Vikings. That's a touchdown. Carlson now on for the extra point, and it's up, and it's good. Green Bay officially up 10-0 already. Happy New Year thus far.
Those freaking feet.
Like Hebble's saying, so basically you wheeze for the D. I'm sorry. You know, I can just go like Hebble's. I can just go.
That's funny.
And Steve's saying, who all watched that game last night? Oh, it was a mess. I watched the 4th quarter at least, but holy buckets. Steve, 10-0. You know, I wasn't sure about Love, but he's grown into the man. He's a freaking stud. Great throw, 10-0. We're going to have to ride Love because Love is now the guy you got to ride. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the Packers cannot sign him to a contract extension until mid-May. Once mid-May comes around, I'm fully expecting them to lock him in. He does still have a year left on his deal, but that's not the Packers' way to let a potential franchise quarterback walk into a contract year. So I'm fully anticipating once we get to mid-May, we will see the Packers and Love announce some kind of contract. So ultimately, he's proven, in my opinion, more than enough. Are there still parts to work on? Yeah. And I mean, I know some people don't like it, but to compare him to his predecessor at this point in the journey, there were certainly things for Rodgers to work on at this juncture as well. Part of the development of just being a first-year starting quarterback. The really nice thing about Love is nearly all components of his game that you wish to see development on, he's done. He's improved upon them. And he's done so in amongst this chaos around him of constant injuries, youth, just different. You know, the last couple of games, like look at the Carolina game. We were back to the Rodgers days of having no defense at all and the quarterback just having to keep things alive. We're right back to that somehow. So I think Love has more than proven that he's the leader. He's the guy. And yeah, we're riding and dying with Love for the foreseeable future. Chris, let's go. Like Ebbles, I've got the flu, brother. I'm struggling too. I don't know, something. Everybody's got a cold right now.
Well, yeah, you're going and seeing all your family and hugging
Right.
and sharing your germs, and
Right.
It's the gift of giving, right? It's the holiday season. We just like to give each other other gifts too.
Chris, when the QB has that tough mindset inside the pocket and is not afraid, it opens so many doors. And Love is just that. No fear in the pocket. I love it. I think it does. I think it speaks to, you know, his unflappability, as Matt LaFleur likes to say. I think it just speaks to the fact that, you know, he can be surrounded. Minnesota now returning the kickoff here.
Ooh, nice.
And he's hit. Yeah, there we go. Bringing him down at about the
Special teams.
19, maybe the 20 for Minnesota starting drive. But he's shown that his unflappability is more than just on the field and standing in the pocket. It doesn't really matter who he's throwing to. He doesn't have the whole hand signal trust thing. He's just going to go operate the offense. And it's been really, really impressive to see how it's been done.
Oh, Jordan Love.
Steve, COVID since Christmas. Christmas Day sucked for me. I was in bed all day. Ugh, really sorry to hear that, Steve. That is rough. Mick, development in many receivers. Good coaching. Many get open. It's happening more and more and more. Receivers are learning too, just like Love. It's nice to see it all come together. Handoff up the middle for Minnesota. He does find some room, gains 8, maybe 9 on the carry up the middle as he quickly advanced to the second level. That's going to set up second and really short now for Minnesota.
Oh, and Kirk Cousins found a shirt.
Yeah, I mean, this game is also huge for Minnesota. I mean, their playoff odds are a little bit more difficult than Green Bay's, given all the tiebreakers and whatnot. But their playoff lives are very much on the line tonight, too. And theirs are behind Jaron Hall. Yeah, that's rough. All right, now in shotgun is Hall. He takes the snap, another handoff, and that is a first down for Minnesota.
And more.
Yeah, he runs right up the middle for a good gain of 10, maybe 12.
Lost a bit of his undershirt.
Steve saying Valentine, not Valentine. Valentine has been stepping up a little. Yeah, I actually like both of them quite a bit. And the job that they both have done is remarkably commendable. I mean, keep in mind, Valentine is a 7th round pick, was supposed to be like the depth guy. And then Valentine was like special teamer, emergency corner. And yet they've made multiple starts each and have done a commendable job. And they really deserve a lot of credit. And Joe Barry seems to call better games when they're in.
Oh. Who is that? 97. Who's that?
That's Kenny Clark.
Kenny getting excited.
3:39 to go in the first.
I wonder if it's going
to be. We do have a powwow of referees here.
It might be. Vikings might have set Kenny off. Might be their fault.
Nope. That's on Kenny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny. Can't get too excited, man.
I read some speculation this week. I never saw it confirmed with data or anything, but I read some speculation that said, does Joe Barry call a simpler game when he has Valentine and Valentine as opposed to Jair? And because for whatever reason, the defense is seemingly in some ways more successful. So we'll see for the remainder of the evening.
Hand off to the running back who gets stopped, gain of 1 yard.
Devontae Wyatt and Isaiah McDuffie in on the tackle on Chandler. Sets up 2nd and 4 following the penalty. Just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Looking to see exactly what yard line Minnesota's on. Come on, show the field. There we go. Minnesota's on their own 43. Jaron Hall in shotgun now running back off to his right. He takes a snap and he's looking left. He's going deep to the left. Valentine breaks up the pass, though. He tried to get Jefferson, but Valentine sticks his arm in there, breaks up that pass. 3rd and 4 now for Minnesota. Mick, I see your question here. Kenny over the center. Yes, he was on that play. Which nose tackles are active for this game? Well, Slayton is active. I don't know if he's going to play his full regular allotment of snaps coming into this game, considering he was questionable, but he is active. And then, of course, you've got Kenny and I think Ford. No, Ford's on the practice squad, I believe. You're kind of testing me now. But Slayton and Clark may be their true 2 nose tackles, although Brooks can do some.
Pressure on the rookie.
Gary and Kenny going to get him.
And he throws it away.
And that's going to set up 4th down for the Minnesota Vikings, 4th and 4, officially near midfield. I don't believe this is going to be a go for it situation for Kevin O'Connell, even though he does like to go. Looks like this is going to be a punt.
Let's see. We got Chris saying, I remember when Valentine and Valentine both were playing as subs, and they did do okay. I was nervous as well for their injuries, especially man coverage.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And here is the punt for Minnesota. It's up. And Jaden Reed back there returning, but it bounces out of bounds. Green Bay going to take over with the ball a little bit up from their own 25.
I think John and Claudia should do a live game show from a helicopter flying above the stadiums. If you can get the funding
I was gonna say, Steve,
and the permissions needed, all for it. We'll
set up the GoFundMe, Steve.
Weird fact from Lick Hebbles: the throw that Reed caught before the touchdown was the record breaker, I believe. Getting the mark and after with a tutty is a pretty cool way to celebrate.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is right.
You know, and I do hope because you got Jaden Reed, on the now officially breaking, but he was on the precipice of Sterling Sharp's records. In addition to that, though, you've also got Luke Musgrave, who's 2 catches, and I believe it was 23 yards shy of the rookie tight end receiving records. So I do really hope that Musgrave has the chance to play next week, which sounds shockingly possible that he could come back from his lacerated kidney. But I hope Musgrave has his chance, because if he had not suffered that injury, he absolutely would have had those records. I think it's 2 catches in 23 to break all of Paul Kaufman's rookie tight end records. So remarkably cool to have Jaden Reed, and even if he doesn't get it, to be on the precipice, Luke Musgrave. Right. This, without exaggeration, could be the best offensive rookie class we've seen in Green Bay, potentially ever, from a pure production standpoint, which is really, really exciting. And Mick saying, wouldn't you be over a dome tonight? Yes, we would.
Quite uneventful view.
yes. And you would still have this lovely view. So sometimes I forget just how many more commercials there are for primetime games.
Yeah. Fresh cheddar.
Oh, hey, now they're doing a special on the youth. Yep, average age of the offense, 24.9 years old. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
Youngest in the NFL.
And then the wide receivers. Yeah. Look at all them kids. Points scored by players in first or second season, 84%. Yep. Okay, cool.
Sorry, quite the graphics.
Scott saying, I bet we move on from Alexander next year. I'm inclined to disagree, actually, Scott. We can talk about that more at halftime. But yeah, I know opinions vary wildly out there on that topic, but we can talk at halftime about that for sure.
Love under center, Dylan in the backfield.
Steve, to answer your question quick, is Dylan's thumb still broken? Yeah. I don't know as if he's wearing as extensive as a cast on the right hand as he was last week, but I did read that there was still going to be something there for sure.
Hand kind of tossed to Dylan, who scrambles for a first down, kind of army crawls almost his way over.
Yeah, gains about 11 on the carry up the middle, so that's a first down.
You can still see that cast on his thumb. I don't know, to be able to hold the ball and actually secure it with the cast. Good for him that he's able to do it, but scary.
Yeah, it does look much the same cast on that replay, covering the right thumb.
Read in motion.
And another carry for Dylan. He cuts it back to the right side, but Minnesota kind of stops the progress. Gain of about 2, as there was really no cutback lane for Dylan there. That's going to set up about 2nd and 8, minute 40 to go in the first quarter. Green Bay still up 10-0. I do hope that the usage of Aaron Jones tonight, I know Dylan's looking fine thus far, but I've grown weary of the give Aaron Jones 12 carries on drive 1, and then we don't see him again until the third quarter. I feel like the rotations can get a wee bit stronger for Green Bay in that regard.
2nd and 8, read in motion.
Ooh, Dylan with a beautiful pass block, but Love off of his back foot, backpedaling, and he finds Bo!
Melton stays in bounds and keeps on fighting for that one.
Bo!
Beautiful. Oh, my.
Bo with a big play into Minnesota territory. Gets him all the way down. I think it was to about the 30-yard line. But, I mean, Dylan picks up the pressure that was coming in from the defensive tackle of Minnesota, or actually from the blitzing linebacker. Dylan did a great job picking that up. But there was still so much pressure that Love was backpedaling, like just trying to get away from off of his back foot, just lobs it up. Melton does a great job finding the lob from Love and then turning in extra yards after the catch. Hell of a job by Bo Melton and Jordan Love on that one.
Hand off to Dylan. We got a flag on the play. He pushes it up, gain of maybe 5 or 6. Let's see what this flag is. 21 seconds left in the first quarter.
And that penalty's offsides on the defense.
We'll take it.
Bullard, their big defensive tackle. All right, 1st and 5 now for Green Bay as they are getting ever closer to the red zone. I don't know as if they're exactly there yet. Can't see what yard line they're on.
And we're just going to take it to the end of the quarter.
Yes, indeed we are. You know, that's one thing we've realized doing watch parties on based on a telecast and not actually in the stadium is you don't know where they are on the field a lot because they show so much other crap on TV rather than the field.
See the sea of purple dressed up like hooligans, but we can't say much. Our own fans dress up like hooligans.
Yeah, we're better hooligans though.
That's true.
Chris Ann saying, when I think of Alexander being let go, I think of the girl from Frozen singing, "Let It Go." Then Stewie Griffin knocks her off a cliff. I'm too much of an Alexander fan. It's complicated. Let's say that. Yeah, let's talk about that at halftime. What's going to happen exactly with Alexander? There are several ways that it can go, but I'm in the camp of I don't think they're going to be moving on from him yet. That, and I do think if they get in a new defensive coordinator, a lot of the problems with Alexander just kind of solve themselves. I do believe that's the main rub going on for several of the individuals. So
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
David Sprigg saying, I don't think people realize how well Bo did last year in preseason with Love. They had a connection. I was so happy they got him back. Yeah. I mean, I went back and looked at my training camp notes from going to the training camp practices this year. Bo Melton was my most frequently quoted player of the day up until his injury. Like he had this natural, like you mentioned, just connection, this natural chemistry with Love that I talked about Christian Watson did not have at all in training camp, but there always was Bo. And they weren't using him in training camp exclusively as a slot guy. He was getting a lot of route variation, a lot of different lineup stuff. I was very, very high on Bo. And I think what really set him back was one, coming into the year where Samori Toure was on the depth chart. I mean, it would have been quite the leap for Bo to overcome Samori at that time. And then two, the injury that Bo Melton sustained, I think really damaged his initial 53-man roster chances. But they got him back on the practice squad. He worked his way back from that injury. Coaches have been talking for 2 weeks now about how much rapid improvement they've seen from Bo. And then you let that natural connection take over, and here you have just another budding component of a young wide receiver group. But unbelievably happy for Bo. He's earned this. No doubt about it. I just hope the next step for him is an actual elevation to the 53-man roster. It's got to be coming. And I will say, too, I think this is practice squad elevation number 3 for him. Oh, I know I talked about it in the game preview. Yeah, I mean, the time to get him on the 53 is coming, most certainly. 1st and 5 now. Love basically in pistol. Aaron Jones behind him to kick off the second quarter. Green Bay is on the 28 of Minnesota.
Jones gets the ball, gain of 2.
Yep. Thereabouts. David Sprigg saying it's 3. Okay, so this is elevation number 3 for Melton. Is that what you're saying, David? Maybe I can look that up at halftime as well. But yeah, I know there was one game earlier in the year, like his first appearance of the year, he actually was put on the 53 with James Robinson, and then they took him right after, and that's part of what's led to what number are we on exactly? Number 3. Okay, good deal. 2nd and 3 now for Green Bay. Love under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Aaron Jones, who cuts up the middle, but he gets real close to that yellow line for first down, but I don't know as if they're going to give it to him. Elton Jenkins, the big body, trying to pave the way for him.
Thanks, Steve.
Very kind, Steve. And here we go. 3rd and 1. And they're lining up for the tush push.
Did we get it?
I don't know. That's going to be really close. Depends where Love is in this mass.
Oh, yeah. Pretty close.
Well, are we calling out the chains? Totally is going to depend on where the spot is. Miserable Goat, I do want to address this. What most people haven't noticed is whatever team Love didn't play good against, he always makes up for it when he plays them again. It's true. It's true. I mean, look no further than the Chiefs, right? Even going back to earlier career play. But even this year, Lions facing them the second time. Thus far, Minnesota the second time.
4th and 1.
Just another feather in the cap of Love's development, no doubt about it. Excellent point, Miserable Goat.
So we did not get the tush push. We were short. We are now taking our first time out.
So I think LaFleur just probably wants some more time to make a decision there. But 4th, and did it look like a full yard or like a half yard?
Probably half.
Yeah. Okay.
They did make progress, but
not enough.
Nope.
Okay.
As the announcers were saying, it was a slow push.
It's New Year's Eve. Everybody's tired.
Hey,
all right. 4th and 1.
How many ways can you commentate a push?
The massive human move quickly or not. Yeah.
There's only so much you can analyze about that.
Yeah, like 3/4 of a yard to go here for 4th down. Interesting, they are not trying the field goal with Carlson as of now, unless they're just trying to draw Minnesota off sides. But no, they call real play, and it's play action.
Oh,
Love's going deep. Love's got. Oh. So that was not an on-target throw from Love. Melton adjusted his route, dove for it, and couldn't come up with the catch. That's going to be registered as a drop against Bo Melton.
Poor Bo.
Realistically, one that, I mean, he still should have had it.
It touched his hands.
Yeah, I mean, he had it. It was right there.
Bo.
So that's going to be Minnesota's ball coming out of the break. Curiously, Green Bay opting not to go with the field goal for Carlson. They wanted all gas, no break.
As much on the board as possible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that ended up with nothing on the board.
And frankly, I don't really blame them.
Be aggressive.
Yeah. Offensively speaking, absolutely. Now's the time for Green Bay. Very, very disappointing there. Curious to know who was more at fault there. I mean, did Love throw it to where Melton was supposed to be and the route was too rounded? Or was it not a good throw from Love and Melton had to adjust the route to get there? Just curious to know for sure. From first glance, it looks as though that was an off-target throw from Love as he was running around back there. And then Melton tried to adjust and just couldn't get there. Steve saying it wasn't a great pass. Too bad. Come on, D, get a turnover. Let's put this game away early. Right. Yes,
another
indeed.
Interception. The last 2 starting quarterbacks have gotten 4 interceptions.
Yeah, they've each had 4 interception games.
We got the start. We got 1. Let's get the other 3.
There's no reason to break a trend that Minnesota's worked really hard to get. I mean,
that's gotta be an accomplishment for them.
Who are we to be a trend breaker?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and thus far, I can't say that Minnesota's doing anything wildly impressive with Jaren Hall. So,
no. Let's keep going.
Miserable Goat saying we'll get it back. The way the defense is playing thus far tonight, they're looking different. Who's D? Is she saying? Chris Ann. Referencing Steve's comment saying, come on, D. Steve saying, I want a Van Ness sack. Come on, Van Ness, get a sack.
Yeah,
hey,
do it.
Not only has he been playing more as of late, but the quality of Van Ness's play has gone up. I mean, obviously, it's kind of what you want to see from your first-round rookie. He develops as the year goes on. But for Van Ness, it's you're seeing more of his physical traits come about. It's kind of hard to say. Like, you could see the traits of explosion earlier in the year, but he didn't know what to do with them. You can see now for Van Ness, he's putting them more into the system, truly developing into it.
All right, Vikings running the ball, stopped with a gain of 4.
They're boots.
For a second down.
Going to set up second down. Yep. And then like Hebel seems like 50-50, keeps throwing when feet are in the air, but it was there to be caught. Oh, it referenced to the Love throw to Melton. Yeah. And that's the other thing for Love. We were talking about areas that he has yet to improve on. I feel like every so often, it's a positive trait overall, but he leans into the schoolyard aspect of quarterbacking a little bit too often.
Get that Favre-esque footwork sometimes.
Hall now dropping back on 2nd and 6, throws kind of a wounded duck, but Jefferson is the only guy there, so he comes up with it. Nice gain for Minnesota, giving them a first down, getting closer to midfield. But I would just say, like, he needs to realize when to use those schoolyard traits versus when to just plant and throw the ball. And that's still a little in development for Jordan Love. Yeah, Jefferson coming up with the catch. That moves Minnesota right on down the field. David saying, I'm single. We don't know D, but if anyone does, feel free to set everybody up. Right. Sounds like we have some suitors in the comments.
Matchmaking in the comments section.
Jaron Hall dropping back, and
he bullet.
Yeah, over the middle. No wounded duck from Jaron Hall on that one. That's a shot right over the middle. About a 20-yard gain to rookie Jordan Addison from Hall there. As Minnesota's trying to put something together, trying to take advantage of Green Bay's turnover. 11:35 to go in the half. Steve saying, I thought Addison was supposed to be out. He was questionable coming into the game, but he did log limited practices on Thursday and Friday. A lot of the Minnesota media was optimistic that he would play, and yeah, here he is. So his ankle's good enough to go.
Running the ball again, gain of 5. Setting up 2nd down.
Miserable Goat saying, seems like it's not a good thing to be optimistic about our defense. All right, everybody go back to being sad. Sad and angry. It did seem to work better, didn't it, Miserable Goat? They've had a little bit of success, so now they got to give up a long drive.
All right, so we have 2nd and 6 for the Minnesota Vikings. Hall under center, got some in motion. Fake to the running back. Oh,
whoa!
And sacked, baby.
There you go. Van Ness was one of them in there, Steve. But Kobe Wooden, the rookie, Kingsley Enagbare, there were a whole bunch of bodies there, but Van Ness was one of them. Hall brought down for the sack.
Oh no. We got a Packer down. Can't tell exactly who it is as we go to commercial. Oh, it looks like Isaiah McDuffie. Yep, Steve saying McDuffie is hurt. Hopefully nothing too serious, as we were just talking about how he's doing very well on the defense. Scott asked if it's too many beers.
No. I haven't had any, Scott.
I don't know if you can hear him. Said no. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'm here. All right. Sorry, I'm back. Whew, okay. McDuffie was the one who was hurt. I see that. And then, like Kev was saying, former Viking Eric Wilson is next up. Should he need to play a few snaps? Yep. He would be next up on the depth chart. And I mean, he's done some nice things defensively this year. He's predominantly a special teamer, but when he did play in Minnesota, he had an entire year starting at inside linebacker for them and did do some nice stuff. So Mick saying 1 sack the quarterback, 2 sack the football. Turnover. Wouldn't mind it. Scott saying Lombardi Time Brews and no brews. Okay, Scott, we've been through this. All right. When I go live for 4 hours, I generally don't drink because it's just a bad decision. But today, yeah, no. And David, it's not spoiled eggnog either. It's whatever the freak bug I've got going on. So just a cough. Just leave me alone. All right. Let's get back to this. My goodness. Shut up. All right.
You're doing great. That's right, Chris Hand. Lombardi Time Brews.
Woo!
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, speaking of the word swag, you know, I know we talked earlier in the year about putting out some Lombardi Time Brews merchandise, and I have a story about that. So I went through and like designed a bunch.
Oh.
And oh yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle of that, Van Ness and who else is there?
Oh yeah. McDuffie kind of just got combined on. He got equally as sacked as the quarterback did. Huh.
Wouldn't be surprised if he goes in for concussion protocol.
Yeah. And then there's Campbell, who's out with his neck injury.
Maybe his neck would feel better if he didn't have as much bling on it.
Well, it does appear as though Eric Wilson will be going into the game now for sure. But story about the swag, like I went through, designed it all. It was all good to go. And then, because I was utilizing Spring, the company Spring for merchandising, and their automated system flagged it for copyright. Because of I can't even remember the word. Oh, because even though I didn't have Green Bay Packers anywhere on the merch, the description was Lombardi Time Brews, a Packers podcast. And so they flagged that for copyright and they took the whole thing down. So all of the work that I did in designing it all, gone. And then when I contacted them and they're like, oh yeah, our bad. That wasn't even a copyright infraction. We'll put your account back in good standing. They did. And then everything was still gone. So someday, y'all. Someday. I'm still a little sour.
A little? 3rd and 16 for the Minnesota Vikings.
Dropping back for Hall in shotgun, and he's looking left, and he's got somebody left. That's 86 for the Vikings. Savage and Nixon combine on the tackle. I will say no wrapping up from Nixon or Savage in any way.
Nixon, I swear, he does not know how to use his arms when he tackles. He just likes to chuck his body in there and call it good.
Like, I mean, each one just threw a shoulder at the guy. Like, there was no wrapping up in any way, shape, or form. All right, Greg Joseph now on to kick for Minnesota for the field goal attempt. This is a 54-yard attempt, so he's kicking from about the 37-yard line. 9:30 to go in the half. And the kick is up. And it's driving through, and that is good. So Minnesota's at least on the board, now making it 10-3, 9:25 to go in the half. A couple more comments here. Jeff, you're getting over that crap also? Everybody's sick right now. It's awful. Scott, giving you a hard time. Bit slow today, John. I am, Scott. I am. I'm not going to lie to you. A little slow on the draw today, Scott. Rough go.
Season a given. We're giving germs. All right.
You know, I will say, for as much as talked about, written about Brian Flores and his all or nothing defense, the all blitz or all prevent, basically, defense, I haven't felt to this point in this game. There's been a few plays where Love has had to throw under pressure, certainly, but I haven't felt to this point that Love is under constant duress, like is a little bit of a risk when you go against Minnesota. So at least thus far into the game, granted, we're not all that far in, it is encouraging that Green Bay seems ready, that Love seems ready. Because I said that one of the triggers to the game, or one of the keys for the game, was whether the Packers have cracked the code as to when that pressure is coming or not.
Nixon is on the return, though it goes out of bounds, I think.
Yeah. So that's going to be touchback, Packers taking over at the 25. Oh, man. They're showing on the telecast a replay of that drop for Melton, just the missed connection there. And yeah, if that throw would have caught him where he was upright and running, progressing towards the end zone, whew, he was open. Would have been a big play if they would have caught on there.
Love under center. That looks like Aaron Jones in the backfield. Hand off to Aaron Jones. Finds baby little bit of a hole. And 30 yards. Oh, but there's a flag on the play.
All right, so the holding penalty is actually on Minnesota. on Harrison Phillips, their big defensive tackle. That's an automatic first down for Green Bay. That's a wonderful swing in Green Bay's favor there to give them an automatic first. So Green Bay now all the way up to their own 33.5. 1st and 10. Aaron Jones in motion, joining Jordan Love into a shotgun formation. He's got a tight end and 2 receivers off to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Handoff to Aaron Jones going up the middle. That's a gain of about 7, just kind of skirting right up the middle. Steve saying the Packers have a lot of evaluating to do in the offseason on a good bit of players. You are not kidding, as Isaiah McDuffie is going off on a medical cart, holding his leg, and he doesn't look thrilled.
Concussion. That's what I was guessing. With how he got hit, there's no way he's not
being evaluated for a concussion. Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if he has one.
2nd and 4. Love now under center. Jaden Reed in motion, going from left to right, back to left. Love taking the snap, and it's play action to Jones. Love's drop back. We're going down. Nice. And that's a completion to Jaden Reed along the left sideline. That's a first down for Green Bay, and I do believe they just got themselves into Minnesota territory. 8:10 to go in the half. Chris Hand now also saying, my mom was in the hospital around Christmas time. She's a bad gallbladder, but also received fluid in her lungs from meds, but she's getting better. Well, best wishes to your mom, Chris.
Some love going to your mom.
Yeah, really glad to hear she's getting better. Yeah. Very, very happy to hear that, but that's massively unfortunate. Our thoughts are with her for sure.
Beautiful little toe tap by Jaden Reed. Stay in bounds.
Reed now up to 4 catches for 54 and a touchdown. Love taking the snap on the next play, and he delivers the ball to Tucker Kraft, who rumbles through. Touchdown. He didn't go leaping over the Minnesota defender, so that's something. Instead, he actually absorbed contact like a tight end.
Development.
Yeah, he got a few too many nutcrackers around the holiday season and decided to actually try just running. Good choice, Tucker. Prepare your future family.
He is just a character that it's just been very fun to spectate.
1st and 10 now. Love in shotgun. Green Bay up to the Minnesota 34. Smart Toure in motion. Love taking the snap, delivers the ball off to the right again to Tucker Kraft. This is going to be a gain of about 5, cutting the distance in half. McKnight saying no leap. Yeah. Thankfully. Kraft, it's funny. I mean, I'm all for him doing it. It's just there's obviously risk there. It's kind of like a time and place decision, not a every single time you get the ball decision. So,
goodness gracious.
Yeah, good old Tucker Kraft. 2nd and 6 now for Green Bay. Love under center, 1 receiver off to the right. Aaron Jones in the backfield, handing it off to Jones, who tries to find room up the middle.
I think he got that.
And I think he might have picked up all the way to the first.
I don't understand how he does what he does.
Kind of fell backward, but it worked.
It counts. As long as it counts, it don't matter.
Yeah, it gets up to about the yellow line. 6:05 to go in the half on the game clock. 51-yard drive, I believe the telecast just said for Green Bay. Although
3rd and 1, so he was a yard short.
3rd and 1. His backside hit before the rest of them did, apparently.
Right.
So now Love under center. Kraft on the field. Ben Sims on the field. 2 tight ends as well. Aaron Jones in the backfield. 3rd and 1. It is a handoff to Jones, who's got plenty of room. He runs that right on through. Winds up being about a 10-yard gain for a first down for the Green Bay Packers. 4.3 yard per carry average for Aaron Jones on the year. Obviously not the year he's going to be most proud of, certainly. But
between injury and everything.
Yeah, I mean, he does. It's undeniable, though, that he does things in this offense that no one else can do. First down now for Jordan Love under center. He takes a snap. That's a quick pitch off to Aaron Jones, who goes streaking up the right side. Another good carry for Jones. This one looks to be really close to a first down again, but we do have a flag on the halfback toss. Under 5 minutes now to go on the game clock. Aaron Jones walking away, has a little hiccup in his giddy up.
I do believe this might be on the Vikings, as they are looking very unhappy.
And all right, we'll take it. That is indeed on the Vikings. Hands to the face on Bullard, the defensive tackle. Keep your hands to yourself, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
On the replay, you can see Bullard very much just sticking his hand
off his helmet
in Zach Tom's face mask. That's a no-no.
Can't do that.
And I will say, hey, I mentioned this in the game preview.
Oh, no. Don't you do that. You get back up.
Jones is on the sideline. Medical trainers kind of around him. Didn't look overly severe, but he was getting some attention there as he was squatting off to the side. Dylan now with the carry on first and goal, and he's rumbling. Gets up to about the 2-yard line. I will say, in regards to penalties, there was that streak in the middle of the season where the Packers were dead last in penalties every single week. Not anymore. They've been playing cleaner and cleaner football over about the course of the last month. I had the exact numbers in the game preview, but highly commendable for Green Bay to essentially start playing more disciplined and not as sloppy on the whole, especially on special teams and defense. It's really been cut down drastically.
2nd and goal for the Green Bay Packers. Another.
Oh!
Dylan. Goodness, Jordan Love. What just happened?
So it's a fake to Dylan. Love runs around the left side. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a carry for Dylan. Love kept it. Love ran around to the left side and then was met hard by 2 Minnesota Vikings. Love putting it all out there. Oh, officially, he got up to the goal line. We're waiting on the call to see if it's a touchdown or if it's going to be on like the inch line. I don't know. That replay kind of makes it look like the tip of the ball crossed the white plane.
I don't know. That's a rough one.
Yeah, we're going to have to see exactly where they mark it, but this should be a touchdown. Like, he reached out there.
Yep, and
there we go. Touchdown officially. Let's see here. Like David Spriggs saying we need more points to overcome this defense the second half after they get gassed. Yeah. The bigger the lead you can build up for your defense, the better at this juncture. I think we all know that. Chris Hand saying, I don't know if you guys saw the Eagles game earlier, but there's now a tush push fake now. Oh, how exciting. No, I did not see that. Steve Plantek saying, okay, you guys are a play or two behind, but Love just scored. Rock and roll. Pack, come on. Yeah. Sorry. Our settings are the same every week. Sometimes we're right on. Sometimes we're play behind. I'm sorry, Steve.
I didn't like that at all. That was too scary.
I mean,
Love and for the ball.
Carlson, good on the extra point. That makes it 17-3. Scrambling and running is a part of Jordan Love's game. However, I'm not sure that designed quarterback runs for the future of your franchise are in the best interest. Granted, it worked. And I think that Jordan's expectation in faking the handoff to Dylan is that Minnesota wouldn't hang out on that side like they did. Because if he knew that both of those defenders were going to be there, that might not have been the choice to not just hand it off to Dylan. But regardless, it did work. So Green Bay takes a 17-3 lead as we start getting closer and closer to halftime. Lake Hebel's Green Bay tried to tush push fake, not wanting that again. Yeah. Also, the most of the jet sweeps have found their way out of the playbook. Can't say that that's shocking. Jeff Benjamin, you're right with my stream. Okay, good. Miserable goat, in love I trust.
That is true.
The man is the future. No doubt about it.
I don't like the ball extension on that one. That was scary.
Well, I mean, all it has to be is the tip of the ball has to cross any white at all.
I know. I don't like it.
Yeah. So the only aspect that I really didn't like of that play is setting Love up for potential impact. But hey, at least in this case, it worked out. And you know what? It's lose, go home. So break out all the stuff tonight.
Yeah, I get it. Just scary. Scary. All right. Steve saying, hugging and a kissing, kissing and a hugging. Love's quarterback play is as hot as an oven. Love shake the love shake.
Oh, Steve. Someone put it on a t-shirt. We got love in the oven. All right. Yeah, then let's see if there is a update on Aaron Jones. Looks like he was just about to give the thumbs up to somebody, so that's an encouraging sign there. Carlson getting ready for the kickoff. Under 4 minutes to go in the half. And there is the kick, and yep, fielded in the end zone. Going to be brought out, and it's returned up to the 19-yard line for Minnesota. So
far, special teams seems to be stopping those returns.
Yes, so indeed. Negative field position again for Minnesota.
This makes me giggle.
The
4 starters.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns, 6 turnovers for Mullen, 8 and 8 for Dobbs. Oh, well, look at them in tuxes for New Year's. My goodness. It's the first time I've actually seen them, but so dapper from Tirico and Collinsworth.
I'm living for the bow ties. All right. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Handoff to the running. Oh, just kidding. Pass over to number 84, who broke a tackle, got the first down. Well, they're faked me, so it's been pretty good.
So it was a play action. Hall held onto the ball, rolled out right, winds up completing the pass to number 84, the Vikings, who completely breaks Eric Wilson's tackle. Wilson never really kind of wrapped up there. He just got shifted to the side by 84. Productive play there.
Now they handed it to the running back.
There you go. And that gains about nothing.
Flag on the play.
Eric Wilson there amongst others making the tackle. And yeah, let's see what this flag is.
Sean Gary is also waiting to see what the flag is.
And that is a defensive holding. That's going to give Minnesota an automatic first down. Kenny. A defensive holding called on Kenny. I'd love to see that replay. I'd like to know how he holds someone.
Oh, yeah. His right arm stayed on the guy's shoulder pad as he moved. I don't know.
Color me skeptical. All right, now carry for Minnesota goes up the right side, gains about 5, setting up 2nd and mid. 3 minutes to go in the half as Minnesota's beginning to encroach on midfield. I mean, it was honestly that holding call on Kenny. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like that was the level of hold that's expected in basically every play. I didn't see anything tremendously egregious.
The camera angle wasn't the best, but I think it's because he just kept holding.
Like kind of armbarred him?
I don't know. Maybe his arm was stuck in the shoulder pads or something. But yeah, he kind of was. I don't know. I'm not mad at it.
2nd and 6 for Minnesota. Oh, quick pressure from Quay. Quay with the sack. Yes.
All right.
And that's a little bit of what I was referencing earlier with Quay Walker seemingly doing better when he's inside linebacker 1. Now, it's not exclusive to inside linebacker 1 that he is going to blitz, right? But last year in Quay's rookie season, they did some really effective work with Quay occasionally coming off of the edge or doing blitzes like that up the middle. A lot of stuff which has been non-existent this year from Quay. And I feel like they're willing to be more creative with him when he's in that inside linebacker 1 role. Really, really good to see there from Quay. And my goodness, is he fast off the ball when his only responsibility is go get him. I mean, the big fault of Quay Walker to this point, even this far in his 2nd year, is still, and you can see it, when he needs to make a lot of decisions on the field, when he needs to read what the offense is doing, that's where he continues to struggle. Put Quay Walker in situations where he can just react or has a steady assignment, and he's so much more confident, so much more explosive. And if that's how they have to continue to use him, then so be it. Put guys in places where they're successful. Plays like that is a perfect example. All right, so more commercials. More commercials. Steve, Quay is faster than me. I can't lie. Well, that's a bold truth you just shared, Steve. Thank you for your honesty. He's also faster than me, as most things are. All right. Nope, we're still not back to the game. My Lord.
Just gonna keep on going.
Overall, I think we do all have to agree is that the defense is playing better than we've seen in the last couple weeks. I'm sorry, miserable goat. I'm going to go positive here for just a minute. But I think we all can be in agreement there that the totality of the product from the defense thus far is significantly stronger than we've seen in the last couple of weeks. And it's easy to say, well, yeah, they're going against Jaron Hall. It should be better.
They went against Tommy DeVito
and Bryce Young and Baker Mayfield. Like that hasn't mattered for the defense. Is Jaron Hall still a tier under all of those guys? Yeah, probably except for DeVito. But they are doing a very good job getting after him as well as contesting things today, which is what really has been lacking over the last couple of weeks.
All right, we are at the 2-minute warning.
3rd and 16 for Minnesota. The defense is about 15 yards back. Jaron Hall stepping up in the pocket, and wow, that was not even remotely a spiral. Jaron Hall, woof. He steps in the pocket, he delivers the ball, and it wiggles out of his hand.
To an empty middle field.
Nobody was there. Oh, my goodness. 4th and 16 now for Minnesota. And on the telecast, you can see that ball leaves his hand, and yeah, that face says it all, Kevin O'Connell. I mean, it released and it just wobbled about 15 yards down the field to no one. So punt now for Minnesota. Jaden Reed back there, and whoa! Jaden Reed made the fair catch motion and then gets annihilated by number 11 of Minnesota. That's a penalty. Woof.
He took him out.
Yeah.
Oh my. That's not how
luckily,
that's supposed to go.
Luckily, Jaden Reed gets right back up. He looks totally good to go. But I mean, he motions for that fair catch. And then 11 for Minnesota. I mean, at least 11 did do some kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
He didn't just all out try to spear Jaden Reed. But woof, what a shot. And
I don't know if they didn't call it because he already was in motion.
Okay. So officially there's no penalty on the play. I think because they're saying by the time that Jaden Reed motioned for the fair catch, the argument could be that number 11 for Minnesota was already like the momentum couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the air by the time that
Reed motion
finished motioning. So
yeah. And if you're Reed, you do have to make that fair catch signal earlier. Yeah. So here we go. Love in shotgun for first down now. Packers have the ball. Baby. The Packers have the ball on the 12. Aaron Jones with the carry going up the left side, finds a little bit of room, gets him up to about the 21-yard line, and we've got a flag on the play. 9-yard gain for Jones. It's Pioneer saying Packers need to be making hay and scoring some points to bury the Vikes. Yeah, they do. Don't even give your defense a chance to screw it up, I think is the adage here. Oh, cool. And I see a few comments here about, back it up. Josh Myers with the holding penalty. So the 9-yard run for Aaron Jones does not stand, and Green Bay's backing up.
Alrighty. All right, let's get this going.
All right, so Packers now have the ball backed up to their 8-yard line. They do a quick pass out to Jaden Reed, who makes sure that he isn't brought down by the first tackler, and then he's shoved out of bounds. Quality gain there, setting up second and a lot shorter, waiting for the exact yard marker on that one. See a few comments about like refs are starting to do their thing. Yeah. 2nd and 5 now for Green Bay officially.
All right, we can do that.
Lake Hebbles, I'm a big believer in it is not the tackling player's job to soften the hit once he has committed. Yeah, I think it's asking a defender to try to do too much. Like if they're already flying at an offensive player, what do you want them to do?
Hand off to Aaron Jones, who inches us closer to the first down marker. Not enough, though. We are still at 3rd down.
Yeah, about a yard shy there for Aaron Jones. So 3rd and short.
3rd and 1, baby. All right. What do we get? What's the plan?
Get the first down. Just over a minute to go in the half.
Thanks. So wasn't clear on that one.
All right. Jaden Reed motioning from left to right. Love and pistol with Aaron Jones behind him. He's got 2 receivers off to the left. Tucker Kraft off to the right. And it's a play action to Jones. Love going deep on 3rd and 1, going way deep. But Jaden Reed's route is kind of cut off by 21 of Minnesota. And that is an incomplete pass. 4th and 1 now for Green Bay.
Oh, my.
Well, they went for an early game dagger. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
They are not afraid to take their shots today.
Wow. That was
I mean, that was a good, like, what was that? Probably 50 yards in air type shot to Jaden Reed. But excellent coverage from 21 of Minnesota to not completely impede the route, but certainly slow Reed down. So 47 seconds to go in the half. Dan Whelan, the Irishman, now on for the punt, and that off of his foot looked really, really vertical. Turn around. There we go. Okay. So the punt bounces into the returner from Minnesota, and he's brought down at about the 38.
Don't do that.
Very, very vertical punt for Whelan there as opposed to forward. 39 seconds to go in the half now for Jaron Hall and company. Commando G-Man saying, well, at least Matt tried this time at the end of the half. Yes, I agree. I like it when he does that as opposed to just kneeing it out if there's under a minute to go. And 50-yard air throws is one way to go about it. That's for darn sure. Hall now in shotgun. 1st and 10. They officially have the ball on the 38-yard line. Hall looks over the middle, nobody there. So he looks left and he hits his running back on a completion who barrels his way forward, breaks the tackle attempt from Corey Ballantyne before Wilson and Quay Walker actually bring him down. About a 12-yard gain.
He almost just pushes Ballantyne off of him.
Yeah. 32 seconds to go in the half, so they're counting him as out of bounds. That would be Madison. Oh, there's out of bounds right there. Oh, so take away 4 yards off of that. Sets up 2nd and 2, only an 8-yard completion as he actually stepped out of bounds while he was breaking Ballantyne's tackle attempt. So 2nd and 2. Minnesota does have all 3 timeouts. Green Bay's got 2 left. Minnesota snapping the ball. Hall and shotgun. Whoa. Preston Smith.
Ball was free.
Preston Smith knocking the ball out of Jaron Hall's hands. And Carl Brooks recovers the fumble. That's Green Bay ball with 26 seconds to go in the half. Preston. I mean, Preston just straight up beat the left tackle Christian Darasaw there.
Around you. Oh,
knocked that ball right out. And then Kenny Clark tried to get his hands on the ball, but Carl Brooks actually does.
Kenny Clark just took the Vikings guy and said, nah, you're not going to put you over.
Whatever works. Preston Smith racking up another sack on the year. Woo!
Mm-hmm. All right.
26 seconds to go now.
See, we got a couple saying not mad about that call. Bleeds good clock. No chance of being picked via execution. Possible chance for path interference. Yeah. Pioneer saying Packers have played well but have underscored what they should have.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I think that's a safe argument for sure. For sure, Pioneer. First and 10 for Love.
Drew it up.
Under 5 to go on the play clock. They do have the ball in Minnesota territory up at the 37-yard line. Love and shotgun dropping back, completing to Romeo Dobbs, who gets out of bounds. 22 seconds now to go in the half. Clock is stopped, Dobbs. You don't have to sprint back. But Green Bay's trying to put some more points on here. Green Bay's trying. Love it.
All right, Dobbs. We'll take the effort, the aggression. You sprint back. Get this going.
Love, per the telecast, 13 of 19 for 155 and a touchdown thus far.
Yeah, hustle.
And let's see exactly what yard line they're on now. On the 25-yard line. So at a minimum, they're now in field goal range. Tucker Kraft in motion going from left to right. Jordan Love in shotgun. Under 5 again on the play clock. Love takes the snap, drops back. First he looks left. Now he's going more over the middle.
Oh, not caught.
And that's broken up. Number 5 kind of conflicting there with Romeo Dobbs. Incomplete pass. Sets up 2nd and 10. Pioneer, I see you saying the Vikings have a good O-line too. Yeah, especially their tackles. Darisaw is still one of the PFF top-rated tackles, or at least kind of in that upper echelon. So for Preston to beat him so decisively, so quickly, it was really good stuff by Preston, no doubt about it.
2nd and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. Love in shotgun. I can't see who's next to him. Taking the snap. Quick pass to Jaden Reed, who breaks the tackle, gets the first down, and keeps going. And that is Jaden! Oh my gosh. Such a good touchdown that John has lost all the air in his body. This is, oh my gosh, what a way to finish off the second half. We got 8 seconds left to the first half. Beautiful, beautiful breaking of the tackles by Jaden Reed. Perfect catch in the middle, breaks one tackle, passes the yard line, and then reaches out the ball for a beautiful touchdown. Star in the making. That's right, Commando G-Man. Pioneer saying that was a Sterling-esque run. All right. And we got a missed extra point wide to the left.
Damn it, Carlson.
Which makes us 23-3. All right. This is fun. Solar Miner. Hello, Solar Miner. How you doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year with the touchdown. Pioneer, I see you're talking about Mason Crosby. Yep. Could have helped the Packers, but it's fine. Whatever. It's fine. All right. So 8 seconds left in the half. All right, special teams. Let's close this out. All right, and we got, oh gosh. All right, looks like the return goes to the 33-yard line. 3 seconds left in the half. Welcome back.
Hello.
Excitement got a little much.
Yeah, I guess. All right, 23-3.
Yep.
So Carlson missed the extra point. I heard you say
Yes,
that.
he did.
Come on, little buddy. And that's going to end the half.
Yep.
All right, 23-3. Woo-wee. Let's catch up on a couple of the comments here. Yeah, Pioneer saw it all about Crosby. Rams kicker missed 2 extra points today. Oh, I didn't see that. That's good to know. David, Claudia adds some much needed charm to the call. Okay.
Thanks.
I may not be charming tonight,
That's 'cause I'm
David.
kind of winging it, so my charm.
Solar Miner saying Jordan is coming into his own. There's no doubt. I mean, what's truly impressive is the level of command that he has over the offense now. And we see it. He is operating in full confidence at this point. And that only means good things moving forward. It just can't go on enough about just how impressive he's been to this point. Has it been perfect? No, absolutely not. Hate a future. Pioneer saying boo birds. Oh, the people in Minnesota ain't so happy. But we are just fine with that. John and Claudia should make Carlson some chocolate chip pancakes and he won't miss those extra points. You know, I've been pulling for Carlson so much. So much. Every so often he just lets me down. That's the thing.
Unpopular opinion, chocolate chips are overrated in pancakes.
I'm with her, actually. Yeah. So. Oh, we're falling apart. Okay.
I'm doing fine. I don't know what you're talking about. I bring charm to the call.
Pioneer saying he seems to understand where to go with the ball, but that way most of the year he's had some accuracy or timing issues. Yeah, he did kind of hit this midseason spurt. Not shockingly, when the offense really fell apart, like weeks 5 through 8-ish, where the decision-making did seem to temporarily regress a bit. Part of that, we can't know the full story because that also was when wide receivers were seemingly having their most difficulty being reliable as well. But I feel like to start the year, the Chicago game, even part of the Atlanta game earlier in the year, the Saints game when he took over the game to get the Packers back into that game from their 17-point deficit. A lot of very, very decisive plays from Jordan Love. And then that temporary regression. But now what you're seeing is just absolute confidence from Jordan Love that he is in control of every single play. And that's something that even earlier in the year when he was doing well and was more decisive in his throws and stuff, it never felt like fully his. Now it's his. Now he feels in absolute control. And that's really been about the last month, even as the team hasn't performed as well. But again, another indicator that things are only moving positively for the future. Solar Miner Jones is hurt a little. Ruh-roh. Does anyone know, has there been a report on Jones exactly to say what is going on there? Or, has he gotten some kind of injury designation for the rest of the game? Steve saying Love has learned a lot and he'll get even better. Yeah, I agree totally, Steve. And then Mick saying Slayton is active when injured. Yes, he indeed. So Ford and Slayton to be on next year's roster. Kenny Clark will be there too, Mick. Honestly, I'm just not sure what direction the Packers are going to go with their defensive line. I think basically they have 5 guys that are pretty much roster locks heading into next year already. And then you do have John Ford, who I know you are much higher on than me, Mick. I know. But they're not in a situation this year where they may go pick up 3 because I don't think there's any one of those defensive linemen that they're willing to move on from or give up on yet. So that's one position on the roster in terms of future planning that they're kind of set. Looking ahead. Solar Miner, any free agent middle linebackers? Solar, are you referencing on the Packers roster, like right now, or league wide, like who's someone that they can go get? If you're referencing on the Packers roster right now, Campbell's not a free agent. Quay is not a free agent. Eric Wilson, inside linebacker number 4, is a free agent for sure. He was retained on only a 1-year contract. And Isaiah McDuffie, I believe, I don't want to say anything wrong. I'm going to Google that one quick. I know I talked about it before in in assessing the roster. And it's either he's a free agent after the year, he's got 1 year left. I'm trying to remember which draft class he was in. Let me just look that one up quick, Solar Minor. But he would be Wilson for sure is a free agent. McDuffie, maybe. Campbell and Quay, no. Pioneer, Clark, only real veteran, rest are young. Yeah. And that's part of the reason of I just can't see them necessarily moving on from any is because all these guys are young. Like they're not going to move on from Kobe Wooden, even though he's probably been the least productive of the 5. He was the mid-round draft pick this year. They're not moving on from that right away next year because he hasn't done anything egregiously wrong to warrant moving on from him. They knew he was going to be a project when they picked him. So that's why I'm kind of saying the defensive line room's already fairly full. And then Peter saying, bonjour, Jean-Claudia. 3:50 a.m. here in Bordeaux, France. So let me wish you a happy new year. Bonne année, as we say in French. Happy New Year to you as well, Peter. Thank you for joining us. 3:50 a.m.
You never cease to amaze me with your dedication to watch the Packers, no matter the time.
Mm-hmm. And Steven's here as well. Hello, Steven. Better late than not at all. Happy New Year's to all. Be safe tonight. I'm out of daddy sodas already and home now. Well, thank you for joining us, Steven. You're right. Better late than not at all. Happy New Year to you as well. So glad that you are here. Let's see. Getting back to more comments. Pioneer saying, I don't think Campbell will be on the team next year. So I can look at this 2 different ways, right? I know we said we would talk about Jair at halftime, and that's certainly a worthwhile conversation. Campbell, financially speaking, it makes a lot more sense to move on from Campbell after 2024, not 2023. However, what I see going on, Campbell came out, made that statement about not playing hurt anymore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And both Joe Barry and Matt LaFleur in every press conference that they've been asked about Campbell have been glowingly positive about the guy, saying we all know what kind of warrior he is. He wants to get in there, but he's hurt with his neck injury, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It really depends because we know Matt LaFleur and Devondre Campbell are close. They've been for years. It's part of the reason Campbell came to Green Bay in the first place. If the Packers move on from Joe Barry, and the problem with Campbell is Joe Barry, then I could see, them continuing their relationship together. If they feel, though, there you go, Peter. If they feel, though, as though Campbell kind of pulled too much crap, not in the way of like Jair being immature, but Devondre essentially, like if they feel like he just went on strike for a couple games, then I could see them moving on. But I'm from a financial standpoint, to cut him this offseason, and of course there's different machinations that they can do it with June 1st and all that kind of stuff. But on the whole, to move on from him this offseason, you're absorbing more dead than you're getting relief. After 2024, those numbers flip. So it's a lot more advantageous from a financial standpoint to move on after 2024. There's just a lot to be determined there yet. And the grand thing in both of these conversations for both Campbell and Jair is, do they retain Joe Barry, which I'm willing to bet not? And does that solve the turmoil problems that they've been experiencing? If it doesn't solve it, then what does it matter? So, yeah. Mick saying new DC, new defensive plan. I do believe it's coming, Mick. And there's about 100 different ways that they can go in terms of what kind of plan they'd like to install. For instance, if LaFleur is to call Jim Leonard again, like he did once, offer him the job again, then the Packers are predominantly going to be reverting back to the Mike Pettin style of zone defense. Or they do have the personnel that could switch to a 4-3 base. I know a lot of people out there are clamoring for Mike Zimmer now that he's expressed an interest to get back into coaching. LaFleur and Zimmer, as far as we know, hate each other, so I'm a little hard-pressed to believe that one. Although if they can put it to the side, sure, maybe. I think Zimmer fits a lot of the traits they need a defensive coordinator, but in that case, they're going to be switching to a 4-3 base. they've got the personnel to be flexible. So I don't think that is necessarily going to be the end all be all. I do think that we will see some schematic changes regardless of who may be brought in at defensive coordinator. Even bringing in Evero, who still runs a variation of the Fangio tree, will still be a difference compared to what we've seen under Joe Barry, because Evero runs a more aggressive version than Joe Barry does. So no matter what, if they bring in a new defensive coordinator, yes, you can expect schematic changes. What kind of schematic changes? There's about 1,000 different variables that could go to yet. And we don't know. It'll depend so much on what they opt to do. Pioneer, the coaches were glowing about Toure all training camp too. Yeah, I remember that well, especially because I didn't really understand why, because at training camp, Toure wasn't ever really doing that much. But yeah, there is something to be said for that, for sure. Steve, if they move on from these guys to post June 1st, then there won't be a cap hit. Yes, but the problem there, Steve, is then you're kicking dead cap into 2025. Okay, so for instance, with Jair, let's say that they trade Jair pre-June 1st. I believe off the top of my head, it's a $27 million dead cap charge for trading Jair. That would be pre-June 1st. If you do it after June 1st, you get a couple million this year, but you're adding a $19 million dead cap onto 2025. And 2025 is that grand golden year that the Packers have been saving up for 2 years now.
Money again.
Yeah, 2025 is when Goody can go sign some free agents for the first time in like what feels like a half decade. So I'm not sure that they're going to want to move on from a guy like Campbell or a guy like from Jair. Even if the immediacy is, hey, we can get some room if we do it after June 1st, they're just going to screw themselves farther into the future that way. If the problems are bad enough, maybe they do it. But I really don't think they want to. And they've kind of been operating in a way that says 2025 is our let's clean the ledger type year. And so to reverse track on that would I don't want to say surprising, but it would be a reversal of the recent trends. Stephen Smith, leadership and veteran presence in the locker room needed. Well, yeah, and I think that's also growing, right? Like, because Jordan Love, I think, is ascending into being more of a leader. Once he's out of this first year as a starter, then he's no longer the topic of the new guy. Then he can just outright start being a leader on the team. Because of a lot of those intangibles, I think Aaron Jones is going to be kept around next year. And he certainly is probably the biggest leader on the team. What they need is some of their high-paid guys, frankly, to grow up a little bit.
And the kickoff to start the second half. Ooh, that return keeps dodging. Come on, get him down.
And he returns it all the way up to about...
Ball is free.
He was down. He was on his back. The return is all the way up to about the Minnesota 45, depending on where they mark it. But yeah, big return there for Minnesota. Let's see, catching up on a couple more comments while they're all just talking. Kempton, hey Kempton, boy, nice to see you. Keep it up, boys. Go Pack, go Pack, go. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, Nick Mullins is.
Oh. Goodbye, Jaron Hall.
Switch up.
Nick Mullins in now. Well, I mean, yeah, like not surprising. He can at least, throw to open dudes. Okay. So Mullins in shotgun to get it started, running back off to the left, takes the snap, and it is play action, and pressure's coming in, but he gets rid of the ball. That's completed to Justin Jefferson. Valentine's right there fighting with him. Oh, did little Chippy. And that's going to be real close to a first down or right after the first down, depends on where they mark it.
Yeah.
But Jefferson with the catch. Valentine was right there, but Jefferson was a step ahead.
They're going to be coming in very hot and aggressive.
Yeah, with Mullins back in there, they're going to try to go for a jugular drive right here. Now on the Green Bay side, 45, Mullins in shotgun takes a snap, and it is a handoff to Chandler, who gets maybe one. Kenny Clark with the tackle.
All right. 2nd and 9 for the Minnesota Vikings.
Commando G-Man, I see your comment there. Is that most of points allowed in the first half? So that's the most that Minnesota's given up on the year, I'm assuming. Just let me know.
All right. Mullins takes the ball, lobs it over to number 32 for the Vikings, who gets the first down and a couple yards more. Commander G-Man saying, yeah, that is.
Got it.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. Pioneer also saying that the Panthers crashed back down to earth today. I don't know as if they've crashed, as they just lived where they've been living. They took a 1-week vacation to Joe Berryville. Thanks, Pioneer. I appreciate it.
1st and 10. They are coming in hot. This is the time where our defense needs to. Oh, and we already got a flag on the play. It hasn't even started.
False start of Minnesota. Back them up 5 yards.
Hey, Steven, someone needs some honey and lemon.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just a little under the weather. We're good. But yeah, thanks for your concerns, guys. I know you guys joined kind of late. You'll see me dip out every so often when when I don't feel good. All right. 1st and 15 now. Mullins under center, trips off to the right, but we do have Addison in motion. It's play action, and whoa, coming screaming up the middle. Mullins.
Somebody get there. There's a flag thrown.
Mullins does complete it to 86, picks up most of the yardage needed for a first down, about 2 yards shy.
On the offense. Please be holding on the offense.
And we've got a flag. Someone came screaming through the middle on the blitz. It nearly got to him.
An eligible man downfield on Minnesota. There we go.
We will take it. Back it up.
Number 67, Ingram.
Yeah, 67. He's their right guard. And you see, he just takes off. He was assuming that the ball was already thrown, I'm thinking.
So now it is 1st and 20 for Minnesota. Let's not let them get 18 yards now.
Of which, hey, look at that. The corners are about 10 yards off. It's what we do. Mullins dropping back. Oh, but a sack! That's not what we do. Keyshawn Nixon in from the slot blitz.
Hey, Keyshawn.
Bringing down Mullins.
Normally, I'm complaining about you. That was good. I like that. Pioneer saying, wow, a creative blitz. That's right.
My goodness.
Pressure on.
And the thing is, that the defense today is everything we've been clamoring for. Mullins dropping back, completed over the middle to 86 again. That gets the ball up to about the 37-yard line on the Green Bay side of things.
It's 3rd down.
I mean, today we've got...
Oh, no.
And Preston is hurt and down. But today, thus far, I mean, we've had Quay Walker doing a blitz up the middle. Keyshawn Nixon on a slot blitz. As like Hubbles pointed out, a 50% blitz rate in the first half, which when you're going against a rookie quarterback, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, overall, I do think you have to be happier with the defensive performance to this point, in large part because they're calling the things that we've been asking them to call. So, good to see. Something from the center that makes sense. Something from the center. Something from the center. Nope. Yeah. Steven, I don't know what you're saying.
Clarify, please.
Let me know.
Amanda saying, oh, no.
To Preston. Oh, pressure his eyes, moves his feet. Mm-hmm. I'm all good with that. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Hopefully Preston doing all right. If anybody has an update, feel free to let us know.
Whew. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, just on the whole, I'm very glad to see pressure blitzes actually coming up from the middle. And maybe like Steven is saying, that's partly because of the center matchup going on. Historically speaking, Kenny Clark has done very, very well against Minnesota and their centers. Yeah, really good to see Steven on my way to O. Like Evel saying, Barry is actually corner blitzed a lot this year and last year. Issue is the 4 linemen had not been winning probably or were washing themselves out. In games in Detroit versus the Chiefs, they didn't. That's a fair point. I think
We appreciate you, Steven.
the distinction that I draw is oftentimes a lot of the corner blitzes that we see Green Bay call. Yeah, Preston got rolled up in that, didn't he?
It kind of looked like he slipped. I don't know if... Well, he's going to the tent.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what that'll end up being, but...
3rd and 4 for Minnesota. Ball on the 36.5.
3rd and 14.
3rd and 14, thank you. Mullins completes it over the middle to Justin Jefferson. That's a first down. Owens is there. Savage is there. Huge first down for Minnesota. 11 minutes to go in the 3rd.
And McDuffie is out for the rest of the game, according to the telecast.
That's not a surprise. But McDuffie out with the concussion.
Yeah. That really sucks.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Jefferson just kind of cut through the opening there. Valentine, Savage, Owens, all the offenders. So sorry, like I think the distinction that I would draw is sometimes those cornerback blitzes are delayed, and that really doesn't do your D-line a lot of favors. The Packers do get very good pressure rates. However, they are in, at least last time I checked, Mullins dropping back now, throws off to the right-hand side where Jonathan Owens breaks up the pass to number 86. Jonathan Owens gets his arm up there, breaks that up.
Nice and clean.
At least last time I looked into it, the Packers were in the bottom half of the league despite high pressure numbers, bottom half of the league and how long it takes to generate said pressures, which really does the D-line no favors. Not that they were helping themselves as they do, as you point out. Steven's on his way to P for the D. Jeff saying, is Slayton playing? Haven't seen him. He is active tonight. I didn't know what kind of role he would have because he was questionable and was seemingly kind of a game time decision, but he is formally active tonight. Yes.
2nd and 10. One's under center. Hands it off to a running back who keeps on going.
Slicing and dicing, gaining about 7 on the ground, setting up 3rd and relatively short for Minnesota. The ball up to about the 8-yard line now.
We are getting closer and closer to that end zone.
Pioneer saying, Mr. Biles. It's always nice when he makes a play. Like Ebels, so that's how it feels facing Adams.
Yeah.
Or felt facing. Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. We like it when we have better receivers than the other teams. And hey, we got our own burgeoning star in Jaden Reed, so we'll take it.
And
Wicks and Watson when he plays. Drop back now for Mullins. He takes a snap and shotgun, 3rd and 3. Dancing around in the pocket. Rashawn Gary eventually gets pressure, but the ball is off. There we go. And so Chandler makes the catch. Quay Walker missed an initial tackle, and the tackle is followed up on. Still ultimately no gain on the play for Minnesota, setting up 4th and about 3. Pioneer points out Savage made a tackle. He finished off what Quay started there. And so Minnesota now 4th and 4 officially, and it does appear as though they're going to be going for this. Just over 9 minutes to go in the 3rd. Down 20, it makes all sense in the world, especially for how they're moving the ball this drive.
Got motion.
Jefferson in motion. And Mullins escaping pressure up the middle, and he throws a lame duck into the end zone. That's incomplete. Jefferson looking around for a flag, but he's not going to get it. And that's a turnover on downs. Green Bay taking over with the ball. Woo! I don't know if I can make that sound. And who is that right there? Anthony Johnson Jr. Oh, man, my draft crushes and training camp crushes are doing so good today. I'm so proud. All right. Like Kevin's saying, also, Owen's doing what I always like to see, push or punch that ball.
That's right.
I have a feeling, Owens, ever since that Detroit game, which was an otherworldly game for Owens, he's maintained a lot of snaps, even if his play hasn't always called for the high number of snaps that he's been given. But I have to wonder if part of the reason that he's still receiving that high amount of snaps is because he does bring a natural aggression that some of the other defensive backs just don't employ in terms of both hit ferocity, as well as Owens very frequently sticks his hands in there to try to mix it up, to try to break something up. I don't wonder if the coaches have noticed, and that's why he's continually getting a high number of snaps, even if his coverage still does at times leave something to be desired. Steve saying, yay, just came up with a key stop. Looking good. Yes, the defense is. That was a big bend but don't break stop.
Yeah. No kidding.
And it certainly looks in half number 2. Granted, they're down by 20, so they'd open up the playbook anyway. But it looks like they're going to be a lot more willing to air it out with Nick Mullins than they were with Jaron Hall. So something Green Bay is going to have to adapt to for the remainder of the game here. Stephen, as you all could see from the football highlights, they all forgot how to tackle.
Tackle, I think.
Yeah, it's not our strong suit. Overall, league wide, I want to say a tinge worse this year than it's been in the last couple. But it's certainly not Green Bay's strong suit, that's for sure. I'm happy to see Savage make a tackle, though, finishing up after Quay. Pioneer asking, is Simone at the game? I don't know. If she is, I haven't seen anything about it. 7 matchups, 0 pressures for Zach Tom versus Danielle Hunter. Zach Tom. And I saw earlier, he's still like the 7th highest rated tackle per PFF in the NFL. I mean, we can talk about Jordan Love being the future all we want. How about Zach Tom locking down one of the tackle positions for hopefully the next decade? All right. Love taking over with the ball at the 9.5 on the Green Bay side. Samori Toure in motion, handing the ball off to Aaron Jones, who's got himself a big old seam. Aaron Jones running all the way up to the 35-yard line. 8:40 to go in the third. Jones just simply took the ball up the middle, and he shimmied his way through, consistently shifting his balance away from the defender. It's just what he does so well. He's just so elusive that way. And it's not through juke moves. It's not through, it's just his body shift, his control is remarkably impressive. And that gets him all the way up to the 35. 14 carries for 93 yards now for Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon now in the game behind Love, who's under center. Takes a snap, and it is another carry for Dillon, who twists his way forward for a gain of 2. There is
the same elusiveness.
The yin and yang of the Packer running game there. Oh no, I don't like that. Why is Jaden Reed grimacing? We can't hear the telecast. Someone tell us.
Please let it just be some bad lunch.
Chest questionable. Oh.
Dang it, Reed. All right, 2nd and 8. We got now we're going to shotgun with A.J. Dillon on the left. We are airing it out
to Dobbs.
Almost had it.
Dobbs had
it,
but couldn't complete the catch. I mean, that was a rainbow down the right side. Would have been good for 30 plus, and Dobbs just reached out,
but couldn't bring it in.
Dobbs, you gotta make that catch. You gotta.
Couldn't secure, so we are now 3rd and 8. We got to turn this around. We can't let this turnover be for nothing. Oh, that sucks. All right. 3rd and 8.
All right. Love in shotgun. Under 5 on the play clock.
3, 2, 1. Takes a snap.
And Vikings bring pressure. Love gets rid of it. Completed over the middle to Malik Heath. That's about a 15-yard gain and a first down. I think they broke into Minnesota territory there as well, probably about the 49, maybe 48. But good old reliable Malik Heath across the middle making the catch.
All right, Peter is saying that 3rd and 14 conversion pass to Jefferson is a great reminder of Joe Barry's awful defensive schemes.
Hey, at least I didn't break this time,
right?
Peter.
Yeah, it is the bend of the bend don't break, which has hurt us too many a times. Steven saying from weekend's highlights, everyone has forgot how to tackle. They all want to chest bump instead of wrapping.
Yeah, there was a perfect example of that earlier. Love now dropping back here on first down, completing it over to Tucker Kraft. You could tell he was thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. That hesitation was a little too much.
I mean, he had a defender in front. You could tell for a split second Kraft was like, oh, I'm going to jump. But no.
It feels like he's got like his brain in his left ear, and then he's got like Matt LaFleur.
Yeah,
right?
he's got
his
a
left
coach.
Brain, himself is like, oh, you can jump, and then he just hears Matt LaFleur, don't jump, be a tight end.
Yeah. Ben Sims in motion now. Love getting the snap, handing it off to Aaron Jones, who tries to find room. They had no room that time. Gain of maybe 1 if they're feeling generous. Under 6 minutes to go in the third.
I think we got it.
Well, and Adam Stenovich, the offensive coordinator, said this week in his press conference that, they're going to let Tucker Kraft learn. Like they do not want him to continue doing it, but it's an instinct thing for Kraft, and
some people just need to learn the hard way.
Some lessons rookies just got to learn. And as Pioneer points out, maybe it's Kraft's jewels that have told him to stop. Maybe it's the future family he wants to have that he may not have if he keeps doing this. So he's like, yeah, Stenovich just seemed to take the standpoint of, we'll tell him no, but he's got to learn it on his own.
All right. Ooh, we got
Love dances around the pocket, eventually throws it out to Jones. His check down over on the left-hand side. Jones spins out of a tackle, gets very, very close to the first down. 5 minutes now to go in the third.
Let's see. We got Pioneer saying, let Reed rest for next week unless Vikings come back and we need him. I mean, yeah, at this point, if he's got something in his chest that's tugging at him,
yeah,
we're in a good enough position at the moment. Pioneers and Commander G-Man agreeing with Kraft's jewels.
yeah.
Or Pioneer, or his mother told Tucker to stop because she wants grandbabies. It's a possibility.
Dylan now kind of spinning through a tackle there, progressing up to about the 25-yard line. Like I was saying, Kraft hurdles, Watson flips, Musgrave stumbles. We'll take it. It reminds me so much of Chris Berman rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the field. He had no idea he just was talking about the future Packers. We've got our own rumble, bumble, stumble, humble right on down the field.
It's been so long since I yelled at Musgrave to stay on his feet.
Well, yeah, lacerated kidneys will do that. 2nd and 6 now. Love and pistol.
A bit of motion from Kraft.
A handoff here for Dylan, who does find some room and it meets the Vikings standing up. Gains 5 on the carry, going to be third and pretty short. Maybe not even a complete yard. 3.5 to go in the third as Aaron Jones is checking back into the game.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that score in the background. Baltimore, 56 points put up on Miami today. I did watch most of that game. And I mean, Baltimore looks terrifying to go against right now. 3rd and 1 now. Love under center there. Not in tush-push formation.
Jones is in the backfield.
And it's a carry for Jones.
First down.
Jones wiggles on through. It's gain of about 3. And a first down for the Green Bay Packers. Continuing to progress up the field, looking to build upon their lead.
Take up that time.
Dylan kind of favoring his right thumb now on the sideline. Don't blame him. That's gotta hurt like a mother.
I don't care if you got a cast on there.
Oh, man.
Got to push through people.
Yeah, but Dylan wincing. All right, so Jones in the backfield with Love in shotgun, trips off to the left-hand side. Sims on the right at tight end. Under 5 to go in the game. Love takes the snap, dropping back, pressure coming up the middle, but he hits his check down. Sims, that's going to go for a gain of about 6 right over the middle.
I know somebody was asking about Sims.
Yep. And good job by Love there to recognize the pressure coming up the middle and just hit the dump off. Absolutely the right call there to at least get something.
Yes.
Sets up 2nd and 4, under 2 to go in the 3rd.
Steven saying, just stop and think about next year with Kraft and Musgrave together on the field.
Yeah, with Reed and Wicks and Watson and Dobbs sprinkling in too.
Kraft in motion, Love under center, handoff to Jones, wiggles his way, pushes and pushes for a gain about 2, setting up what's likely 3rd and 2. All right, we got Pioneer saying, I'm happy that Tucker has really blossomed this year. He was quiet most of the season, but has stepped up when needed. Quiet most of the season, yes.
And the thing is, too, I mean, because there were times earlier in this year, really the first quarter of the year, where Tucker Kraft straight up looked lost. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was one of the larger offenders and just running the wrong way or not quite understanding what to do. And, you hate to say it because you don't ever want to have an injury or think that an injury is a blessing, especially one like Musgrave's.
Got Dobbs in motion. Love taking the snap. And beautiful.
Boom! Boom! Melton with the touchdown. Yes. Love just finding Melton. It was all by his lonesome.
He's just chilling there.
Yeah, he was just running along the back of the end zone, and there was no Viking in sight. Let's see on the replay here his route.
A whole bunch of scribbles.
And I mean, that's just a simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nobody.
No one ran with Bo. Shit, we know Bo. All right.
And the kick is good.
Oh, they're making me so proud. All right. So.
What a beautiful
makes
score.
It 30-3.
What a beautiful score.
All right. So what I was saying was you never want to count his injury as a blessing, especially an internal based one. But there do have to be some thoughts about Tucker's development coinciding with Musgrave being out of the lineup for a bit. A larger emphasis got put on Kraft. He took on more of the tight end 1 responsibilities.
He had to grow up.
And in turn, we've seen his development with it. So in terms of, I'm not going to say that a lacerated kidney is a benefit to the Packers, but I'm saying in terms of long-term development, Kraft getting this opportunity to play more, to take on more, is ultimately a positive for the future development of the offense. There's no doubt about it.
All right. We got Jeff saying Love is really looking good right now.
Yeah, he really is. No doubt about it.
Pioneer, they should sit AJ Dillon out if this thumb is aggravated.
We're getting to the point in the score. Yeah, for sure.
Seems like him and Reed just let him sit. If we need him, we'll bring him back in.
Yeah.
Steven, how are the skull chants now? Pretty quiet, I bet. Pebbles, Tucker's turned into the exact player I've wanted for 8 years now. Also, boom, Bo. That's right. Mick saying, have we outscored last week yet? No, we have not.
33 last week.
33 last week. I keep wondering, why don't I remember the game? It's because I was cooking. So, yeah. But yes, we scored 33 last week. Miserable Goat. In Love, I trust. So imagine him with a competent defense. We may be unstoppable. Steven saying, save something for the Bears, boy. Yes, especially after they won today. Peter saying, Jordan Love looks so poised and cool on that touchdown pass to Bo Melton. All we need is love. Love is all we need. That is right. I gotta say, the entirety of Jordan Love's starting has been just so amazing of how cool as a cucumber he has managed to be throughout the whole season. All right, I'll take Pioneer. The Bears have been playing better lately. Next week should be a good game. Let's hope we can still own the North on that one. And special teams makes a stop on that kick. Gotta love a good replay of some strong, aggressive defense. Something we have not seen lately. Good to see a change there. Commando G-Man, that stretch of bad games could have melted him. He stood strong. Yes, he did. All right, we got a run from the Vikings, which could have gotten them a first down. We'll see how they mark that, but we have a whole 30 seconds left in the third quarter. So let's see what we got here. Waiting for the telecast. 2nd and 1. So they did not get the first down on that one. All right, we got fake to the running back. Pressure. Oh, Quay! Off the tips of his fingers could have intercepted that. Oh. Stephen Smith didn't love getting a new contract already. I think we can't extend him until, what was it, May? So not yet. John will come back in to tell you the specifics because he knows them and I don't.
I got you. 1 minute.
Uno momento, por favor. All right, 3rd and 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. 5 seconds left in the third quarter. And they got it off. Did they, though? I don't think they did. I think that's going to be a delay of game on the Vikings. Yep, delay of game on the Vikings. All right. So 3rd and 1 now turns into 3rd and 6 with 5 seconds left to the third quarter. All right, we got a shotgun formation. Taking the snap and got a complete pass immediately met by the Packers defense. They did not get the first down, which will lead them with a 4th and 2, maybe, depending on how they set that up going into the fourth quarter. Pioneer saying Preston Smith back on the field, but didn't look good. I will take back on the field as a good thing because don't want to lose that on the defense for sure. That is the end of the third quarter, folks, with a 30-3. Liking our positioning. Welcome back.
Okay. All right.
Please tell us about Love's contracts.
I got you. Okay. So yeah, Steven, he did get a new contract last offseason. They opted to give him a 1-year extension instead of activating his 5th-year option. So he's under contract for next season, the 2024 season, but would be a free agent after that. So what everyone is talking about with locking him up would be a true long-term deal, which he cannot sign until mid-May of this coming year. And that would be an extension beyond next year. That's what everyone's talking about with giving Love a new contract. All right. Okay.
Mick telling you, take the fourth quarter off. Save your voice. You got this.
Thanks, Mick. The funny thing is, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, I do have to do a Bleacher Report appearance because they're paying me a bunch to do that right after the game. So we'll see. But hey, thanks everybody for sticking with us tonight. I know I'm not in top form, but really, thanks everybody. And I know so many of you here are the core people who support this channel, support us. It really does mean the world to us. So thank you everybody for being here each and every week. All right, so Minnesota is going to be punting this away, 4th and 2. And holy buckets, what a punt. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad.
No.
Well, there's Toure. So basically, punt was in the air. It was one heck of a punt going all the way to the Green Bay 20. Samori Toure was the one fielding the punt, and he got lit the frick up.
He dropped it before he even got lit up.
Yeah, he muffed it before number 11 even got there.
Come on, man.
Toure muffed it. Thompson hit him.
Yeah,
Thompson recovered it. And Toure tackled Thompson. Minnesota going to take over with the ball. It's got to be about the 10-yard line. We'll see here in just a second.
Man, achievement. Well, knew something had to go wrong sooner or later. Can't be all smooth sailing.
It could have been. It could have been. We could have used it.
That's not at all what we wanted. Becomes our first turnover. Thanks to Ray. Like Gabbles. Somehow this is Joe Barry's fault. Oh gosh. All right. 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. Yikes.
Snap to the running back. TJ Slayton. There he is.
There we go.
TJ Slayton absorbing the running back. And then Nixon finishing off the tackle. Gain of maybe 1 for Minnesota.
Yikes. Anthony, hello.
Anthony, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us.
Glad you can make it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for stopping in.
Sorry you had to come in.
Had a very bad moment.
One of the worst moments of the game. Yikes.
Second and goal.
Come on, y'all. We can hold a field goal.
Jefferson in motion going to the right-hand side. Mullins takes the snap, hands it off. No, it's a play action. I was fooled. And he hits number 86. That's a touchdown for Minnesota. We were not the only ones fooled. 86 walks into the end zone there. Woof. Miserable Goat saying special teams being special. Toure. The guy's been a healthy and active. Like, how many times this year? At least 4 or 5 games off the top of my head. And now with Reed out, Nixon having just done a bunch of defensive snaps, it obviously is a situation where they wanted to turn the punt return over to Reed. Instead, they give it to Toure, who is their emergency returner option.
And the kick is good.
Good. It makes it 30-10. And I'm just going to be I don't like to be negative about Packer players. I just don't know what's there with Toure. I never have. And I know even in preseason, I was going back and forth with some people who were saying, just like, go watch his college stuff. You got to believe in him, whatever. And I just don't see it. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm just not sure what there is there to develop. And that was less than ideal. So
Steven's saying, could tell it was bad. You both got so quiet.
We were processing, Steven.
No, I'm sorry, but what a beatdown. Hope y'all make it into the dance.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony. We're hoping. We're close.
Steve saying, yeah, another special teams dumb play cost Green Bay 7 points. Just can't have that if you're going to be a really good football team.
Yeah.
That's right.
Totally valid. Yep.
Jamila is
any fumbles. Yes.
This. I'm not a Packers fan, but I feel like Love is not that guy for you guys. Just going to be honest. Happy New Year. It's already 2024 here.
Oh, well, hi, Nisa. Thanks for stopping in. I will tastefully disagree with you. Because tonight's a great example of everything that Love can do. And it's not perfect, but it's progress, and it's certainly better than what most teams have. So Love's the guy for the future for Green Bay. But no, thanks for stopping in.
Scott saying, bring up Dubois.
Oh, Grant Dubois off the practice squad. He's a developmental wide receiver. Yeah. First, they got to get Melton on the 53. First, they got to do that. Melton is not yet on the 53. That's got to come first.
Perfect flip-flop. You know?
It is possible.
Just saying. Steve Toure won't be on the team next year. I honestly can't say it. Sorry.
Yeah, especially if they add an influx of more wide receiver bodies, it wouldn't be particularly shocking, Steve. Yeah.
The Kebbles die. Don't blame the defense, but I want to. Honestly, though, I feel bad for the defense who have been eating KOC's and the QB's lunch. Welp, guess Matt and J-Lo gotta eat brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't put that touchdown on the defense. I mean, it's anytime you hand the ball to the opposing offense at the 10.
First and goal.
Expectations can't be that high.
Yeah, that's rough. McKnight, he's broadcasting hurt. Give the production a like. Thank you, Mick.
Thanks, Mick. All right, here we go. The kickoff now for Minnesota. 14:06 to go in the game. And that floats over Nixon's head. So Packers going to take over with the ball at the 25.
Speaking of Nixon, Peter is saying Toure instead of Nixon. Bisaccia is slowly turning into a clone of Joe Barry.
Well, okay. So Peter, I'll just throw on they like to give Reed the punt return option after Nixon fulfills certain responsibilities on defense. My assumption there is that's why you've seen this occasional rotation at punt returner between Nixon and Reed. My assumption there is that Nixon just did the defensive things. We don't know exactly what they are. They've never detailed them, but he just did the defensive stuff that ruled him out of being the returner. So what they did was they moved to the backup on the depth chart behind Reed as the returner. And there you have Samori Toure. So I get it from the standpoint of next man up, right? Like one guy is hurt. We continue functioning as normal. Just the backup goes in and does it. I don't think it was this mass judgment call of Toure over Nixon. I think it was that Nixon did the defensive stuff that rules him out of returning. So they sent in the next guy, just like they would have sent in Reed if he were available. So
Jamila, I believe, talking about Toure, there is nothing with him. Can they trade or cut him?
I mean, yeah, cut, sure. It's easily enough, probably retain on practice squad then, if that's what they're looking at doing. Trade? No. Just realistically, because there's not going to be that much of a trade market out there. He's a second-year, seventh-round receiver who is always going to be a project in the NFL. And we haven't seen much fruit bear from that yet. So cut him, sure, they could do that anytime. But trade, realistically not.
Solar saying, onside kick time.
Yeah, could very well be.
Got saying Melton is out of call-ups.
Yeah, so
sign him up.
They got to get him on the 53 for next week. Yes.
A couple saying, wait, that isn't Toure. Amari Walters, you son.
He snuck in. Jair's sneaking in coin tosses. Amari Rodgers is sneaking in returns. It's pandemonium in Green Bay.
Jamila's saying, love Bo. He brings the nasty to our offense.
Well, that's true. That's true. Bo. He's a fast little man. That's for sure.
Miserable goat. That person that said love isn't the guy for us sounds like they want us to let him go so they can get him, right?
I mean, it's hitting the point where he would be an upgrade for a bunch of teams around the league. No doubt about it. And I will not be shocked one bit when he winds up, whether it's an alternate or not or whatever. I do believe he might find himself on the Pro Bowl squad this year for the NFC.
Look at Bo Melton being a part of the Aligning the Stars graphic.
Yeah, buddy. All right, here we go. Jordan Love under center now. They have the ball on the 25, 14:06 to go in the game. Takes a snap, handing it off to Aaron Jones, who cuts up the middle. Gain of maybe 4 up the middle as 4 Vikings brought him down. And I see now we must be getting some kind of update on Jaden Reed. I don't like this.
I don't want an update on Jaden Reed.
Oh, they're probably just recapping injuries.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's fine.
That's good.
Just as long as you don't tell me that he's
And then Anthony saying, that's Green Bay December football, baby. Woo! No doubt about it.
Stinger.
So a shoulder stinger for A.J. Dillon makes him questionable. Okay.
All right. Oh, bullet over to Bo Melton, who keeps on fighting. He never went down.
You go, Bo.
He kept up. All right, so Jaden Reed is marked out with chest.
Oh, don't like that. Don't like that.
Yeah. I
don't like that.
Steven says, as long as he doesn't have internal laceration.
Yeah, I mean, with a chest injury, who knows what that could be without getting any more details. That's one of those things that's, anything torso related in football where they don't give you many details is like, oh, that could be a bruise or that could be something bad.
All right, handoff to Aaron Jones, who runs her up, gain of 7, 6, something around there.
12.5 to go with the game.
What? Why are you laughing at me?
Just the pure confidence of 6, 7, something
around there.
And then there's that guy too, Christian Watson, who...
Yeah, that guy.
I mean, he hopefully is due back soon. Hopefully. So.
7th missed game this season.
Yeah. 2nd and 3 now for Green Bay, just over 12 to go, still holding on to their 20-point lead.
I was right the first time.
Just to recap, too, win today, win next week. Packers are in the playoffs. Nothing else matters.
And, another bullet. That is to Dobbs.
Yeah, quick slant to Dobbs results in a first down for the Green Bay Packers.
I love the little, tap.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a good job.
I got you. Yeah.
Sometimes they really smack at the helmets. And then sometimes it's just a
yeah.
Good job.
Good job versus great job kind of thing. There you go.
Kebble's saying Toure also is one of the guys the previous quarterback hinted should be not seen as many snaps. Also, TV saying Matt LaFleur says one of the biggest offseason goals is finding out what keeps happening to Watson. No kidding.
Good.
Right? Send him to all the docs.
All right. So Love now spinning to the right, tries to connect with Melton. They're just off. Incomplete pass. Would have gone for maybe a 2-yard gain off to the right.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, they weren't synced up on the timing of that out. Second and 10. Yeah, I mean, you're right, because what did Rodgers call him? Captain Casual, I think, was the nickname that Rodgers used for Toure in the midpoint of last year. And that was one of the things that the coaching staff all summer was talking about how he improved on, that his practice habits, that he learned how to do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
24 first downs versus 9 first downs.
What it is.
I love it.
And yeah, I agree. An offseason priority does have to be seeing what happened with Watson.
Aaron Jones making a break for it, and he gets the first down. Making it 1st and 10 with just under 11 minutes in the game.
All right. So Scott saying doesn't matter who the wide receivers is. All we need is love. All you need is love. I will say that's part of what I was talking about earlier with the unflappability of Jordan Love. The revolving nature around him all year. Like, you've got a guy in his first year starting, and he's got constant shuffling parts. And like, the parts that are getting shuffled in are somehow younger than the parts that were, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just constant shuffling, and he has just kept his composure, ran the offense. Sometimes it hasn't been pretty, other times it has, but he deserves a lot of credit for that.
And I think we might have a delay game.
Timeout.
Timeout.
So they snuck in a timeout there. That's going to leave Green Bay with 2 for the rest of the game.
Look up saying, but Watson is pushing to play next week.
Okay. Good.
I would gladly take him.
Yeah, wouldn't be upset about that one bit. And they also could really use Wicks back. Very, very, very soon. And this is a wonderful problem to have. And I don't mean to be over happy when referencing the Packers' weapons or anything to that effect, but it does feel slightly reminiscent of some of those early 2010 years where it was like, we were trying to figure out how to get targets to guy number 5 on the depth chart because the 4 ahead of him were just absorbing everything. You know what I mean? Like, those constant conversations of like, well, I love Bo Melton. He's wide receiver 6. He's going to get 12 targets next year, barring injury. and like you just deal with this copious amount of options that you don't know how to get everyone on the field to utilize their strengths. The fact that Green Bay is even in a light version of that situation is quite the blessing for a young roster looking to move forward.
Kept saying, good to see Jones. Also, I agree. I love Jordan's mindset of we don't have time to be frazzled or listening to the noise.
It's true. They got the playoffs to make.
Mm-hmm. Scott saying, love reminds me of Favre, throws to a lot of different receivers. Rodgers just a few. He's very reminiscent of Favre in a couple ways, including his footwork.
Yeah, and the one thing that I would kind of say to that, Scott, is Rodgers did have that rep very early. It's the latter years that he began ignoring half of the field or anything. But very, very early, I do remember a lot of conversations about like he was going after Favre's record of like completing to 9 different guys in a game and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of that era, like early 2010s, like 2009-ish even, where Rodgers had a full array of weapons at his disposal. But yeah, the latter half of Rodgers' career in Green Bay, that did go away. I mean, it's true.
Especially when Rodgers had Devontae Adams. It was, why wouldn't you? Because it doesn't matter. He's going to catch it. I mean, obviously there were times when he shouldn't have. And then it really became once we no longer had Devontae Adams, that mentality really stuck. And it began to hurt us even more than it did when we had Devontae.
Yeah.
Steven saying, let's try our other running backs a little bit.
Well, I mean, A.J. Dillon's questionable right now with the stinger. And then beyond that, they've got Patrick Taylor. Those would be the only running backs active today. So
it looks like.
And there is Patrick Taylor. Hey, look at that.
They listened.
So just besides Jones, if they're not going to play Dillon, they just don't have that many options they can turn to.
Steve saying, I can see Watson and Reed and Wicks being as good as Nelson, Driver, and Jennings, and that's a lot said.
I methat is a tall order compliment, no doubt about it, Steve. But yet, even though they're not there yet, you do see, the makings of it, right? And this year, that was a number one priority, right? See the makings of the future this year. And even in the bad times, we're seeing it.
All right, we got some Bo Melton motion. We got Jordan Love taking the snap quick off to Kraft, I think that is. Gain of 2, maybe.
Yep. Hey, Joe. Thanks for doing good job tonight, Joe. Thank you.
Keep it up, please.
I mean, you guys are playing better, too. I'll fully give you that. But, just thanks.
Yeah. Peter, no Watson, no Wicks, no Musgrave, no Reed, and Jordan Love is still able to find new targets with such a cool attitude.
Awesomely commendable. No doubt about it. You're spot on, Peter.
3rd and 7. 9 minutes left in the game. 5, 4, 3. Takes the snap. He's looking nice. Off to Bo Melton.
Bo!
For the first down. Right off to lift. Bo.
I love Bo.
There you go.
He hit Lake Hebbles right there, Clifford. So here's the funny thing. I went to the Jordan Love Salvation Army signing a few weeks ago. I was at that. And I wound up being in line by some people who openly said that they just wish that the Packers would give Clifford a shot. They just don't have faith in Love yet. Mind you, this was right before Christmas. This was not in week 3. So, yeah, those people are still out there like Hebbles.
Taylor, gain of 1.
Sets up second down, just over 8 to go in the game.
Ay, people. Scott, more receivers you throw to, more unpredictable you are. That is true. Kebble's saying, I somehow wish we could get Hyde or Adams back. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't mind taking Adams back. That would be some veteran receiver in the locker room. No kidding. Jeff saying, cheerleader uniforms are even ugly. All right. Another handoff to Taylor, this time making a little more traction.
We'll just run this bad boy out.
3rd and third and 2, third and 3, depending on where they. The command of Jeff, you heard my wife. General consensus. Vikings cheerleaders need new uniforms.
By the way, Steven, you're totally getting your wish. It's Patrick Taylor's show right now.
Good.
Jones has got his helmet lifted up. Dylan's just chilling. Hey, this is obviously Patrick Taylor's drive.
3rd and 3 for the Packers. Just under 7 in the game.
Love takes a snap. Looks right. Eventually goes right to Toure.
Catches it, but probably shouldn't have.
It would have been a wise move to not catch that. Packers suffer a big loss there on 3rd down, as it was completed to Toure about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring us to 4th down.
Joe Barry looks very stressed for not having the defense on the field.
I think, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a certain level of relief from Joe there too, of just.
All right, Carlson, setting up for a field goal, 37-yard attempt. It's good.
Oh,
that's good.
Oh, boy, Carlson.
All right. Bringing us to a very nice 33-3. All right, defense.
Just want to say again, my crushes are making me so happy tonight. They're all performing. It's lovely. All right, 33-10. I don't know who had that on their bingo card, but we'll take it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, the massive highlight so far is the offense. I think Pioneer was saying it earlier that, like, at this point, they've put up 33, and it feels like they could have put up more.
Yeah.
There still were opportunities missed. The turnover on downs in the first half, the drop, the misconnection to Melton. You know, they could have put up more than 33 tonight if they felt like it. Or if things had broken a certain way, I should say.
Yeah.
But then, of course, on the defensive side of the ball, yeah, in the first half, they looked as though they completely overwhelmed Jaron Hall, which you're thinking, good, they should have. But, like, they actually did this time, and that's what's incredible about it.
I feel like this season has been throw out your expectations for the defense. Just be happy when they do what they need to.
Yeah.
And this game is that. They did what they needed to do.
And now in the second half, they are still predominantly controlling the Minnesota offense. Yes, they've gained more yards than they did in the first. Mullins does appear to have a significantly better control of the offense than Jaron Hall does. And they're still containing very, very well. They're getting pressure. The secondary is not appearing as lost as they've been. I think tonight what really goes to show you is, you know, with the combination of Valentine there at corner, who, don't get me wrong, they're not at all bad. But I think what tonight goes to show you is when the front seven of the Packers is producing, be it blitzes from Quay or whatever else, then that makes life a lot easier on a secondary, even if it's a bunch of backups. So overall, very, very strong performance, kind of all the way around, minus Samari Toure muffed punt, because even special teams did some nice stuff tonight. So
baby Grinch, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So.
Pebbles, when this D-line is good, the defense is good. It's so front four dependent. That's why I want a defensive coordinator with a D-line specialty. Please, 49ers D-line coach, unlock me. I have a good offer this time. Unblock me, I think is what it said. But, oh, that's funny.
I know that's who you want. I can't see that being the hire, Pebbles. I'm sorry.
All right.
Here comes the kick from Carlson.
All right, special teams, your time to shine.
And that goes into the end zone. The return coming out.
Come on,
and he's brought down at about the 22-yard line. See, when I referenced what special teams is doing well tonight, minus the one return earlier that got to about the 45, most of the returns have been stopped pre the 25. Obviously what you want your teams doing. So another thing gone well for the Packers tonight.
Steven saying Happy New Year, many blessings, safety, and health to all.
You as well, Steven. Thank you.
Absolutely. Scott saying Barry needs to go, but players need to play better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's both. No doubt about it. Yeah.
All right. So we got the snap quick off to number 3 for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Setting up second down. Addison.
And I'll say too, to your point, I said several times earlier this year, it doesn't matter what scheme you're running when you miss 15 tackles a game.
That's on the players.
It just doesn't. Packers have to tackle. Here we go. Another drop back from Mullins, 2nd and 5. Whoa! And we got wide receiver tripping. We got Ballantyne deflecting away. Doesn't matter. Incomplete pass.
That is nice and healthy.
And that's not even totally a defense of Joe Barry. It's just saying no scheme will work when your defenders miss 15 tackles in a game. So it's been not just a Joe Barry problem all along, but the issue that I've spoken on quite a bit as of recent is eventually all of this stuff does come to a head for the guy in charge, right? If you can't convince your guys to tackle, if you can't get this, eventually it all falls on the guy who's in charge. And that's why it appears though this performance should not save Joe Barry's position.
Dropping back quick off to 86 for the first down.
Yeah, another reception for, I think his name is Munt. Another catch there. He's, I wonder if he's filling in the True Hawkinson role. I know he's one of their depth tight ends, but he's been getting quite a few catches.
Yeah, I mean, that Hawkinson is a very deep loss for the offense.
So, no doubt about that.
Here we go. The couple is when you're...
Mullins evading pressure. Lombardi trying to chase him.
Ooh, be careful.
Minnesota wants a flag and gets one. Yeah, Mullins was scrambling. He slid. And Nixon, essentially made a tackle while Mullins was sliding. Can't do that with a quarterback. And that's going to move Minnesota up a little bit since they threw the flag.
All right, when your cornerback 1 doesn't freelance and actually tries to tackle, it changes things.
Funny that.
Yep, unnecessary roughness on the Nixon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the shoulder. He really dropped his shoulder and went into that one.
Yep. No doubt about it.
Not cool, dude. Mark the Shark saying Aaron Jones is looking good. Nice win. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark.
Very good.
Hebel's Sean Ryan has been at left guard that last series. Injury related for Elton or just pulling him out because things are well in tow? Let me know, Hebel's. Mullins dropping back. LVN trying to get a pressure, but it don't matter. Mullins drops it right over the line to his running back, Madison. Gain of a couple.
A good tackle on that from Nixon, though.
Yeah.
He used his arms.
Yes.
Progress.
Credit where credit's due.
Right? Peter's saying Goody is taking notes. Meanwhile, Murphy is almost sleeping next to him. I wonder what our GM has in mind right now.
Mullins dropping back again, throwing over the middle. This one complete to Jefferson. Jefferson getting it up to about the 29, maybe 30, depending on where they spot it. About 4:18 to go in the game. Mullins now running hurry up.
Mm-hmm. Firing Joe Barry ASAP or signing an extension contract with Jordan ASAP?
Well, they're not firing Barry after this game.
Yeah. They can't sign Jordan Love to another extension
until May.
So Aaron out.
Mullins trying to hit Addison on kind of an outward post, but incomplete pass led him too far. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, yeah, he's probably just self-scouting up there. Realistically, maybe making a wish list. But I will say too, Peter, on a relevant note, Brian Gutekunst is not in charge of the defensive coordinator hiring, firing, anything. That is technically speaking under Mark Murphy's purview, as everything is. But it's Matt LaFleur's direct responsibility. Mark Murphy oversees. Brian Gutekunst does not have the responsibility nor the authority over the coaching staff. That's
second timeout.
It's a division that they've made in the hierarchy. So just something to keep in mind there.
Right. So second timeout, Green Bay. Let's see, Scott saying, do you think Jair's gone next year?
I do not, Scott. No, I actually, I think Lake Hebel says it extremely well in the comment right after yours. I think Ja is allowed to be aloof and superstar treatment is gone, but I think they give him one more year to turn around. Yeah, I think given the comments of LaFleur talking about the relationship looks as though it will be stronger than ever. When I talked in the live Q&A the other day, I talked about how Jair and LaFleur are two guys that just little bit of oil and water. I don't doubt at all that they've had difficulties communicating.
All right, 2nd and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. We got some shotgun formation. taking the snap, and that is off to number 4, Powell.
Mm-hmm. And waiting to see if it's complete or not. Eric
Yeah.
Wilson was convinced it shouldn't have been because his foot was on the line. And
Yep.
that's out of bounds. That's incomplete.
Incomplete
pass. So, yeah, I mean, I'll just say, like, keep it kind of brief. I think the intention is absolutely to still move forward with Jair. Financially, that makes the most sense. You don't want to move on from Jair because you know what his peak is. Moving on from Joe Barry may very well alleviate whatever Jair's got going on. It may not make him completely mature, but it may be the onus of what's wrong gone.
Pressure is on, passing to the running back who is pushed out of bounds. 4th, and I'm not quite sure where they're going to put that. Oh no, 1st and 10.
And that does stop the clock at 3:48. So no, I think I do fully believe Jair will be back next year, just on a significantly shorter leash than a 2-time All-Pro would ordinarily be extended. And I have a feeling that that's what that meeting was kind of about.
All right, let's see. A couple saying, I don't know if injury, just what Andy spotted.
Okay.
About the switch there. And let's see what we got.
Steve, to answer your question, isn't Nixon a free agent? Yes. Mullins now completing to Jefferson at about the 10-yard line. Under 4 minutes still to go in the game.
Good catch on that. That was very covered.
Yeah.
Jefferson being Jefferson, I think.
Yep. Yeah. And for the most part, they've held him very, very much in check.
Absolutely.
Today. No doubt about it. Mullins in shotgun. Tyson Chandler next to him. He's got 3 eligible receivers off to the right, 1 to the left. The left is Jefferson. Mullins dropping back in shotgun, and he's going to Jefferson in the end zone, who does not make the catch. He only gets 1 foot down in bounds. And whoever was in coverage certainly helped him get out of bounds by shoving him.
Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
Not letting Jefferson get that second foot down in a perfectly legal way.
Yes.
Excellent coverage from Valentine.
Setting up 3rd and 4, 3 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game.
Love it.
That was beautiful.
Like Hebel saying, TV telling a story of Matt LaFleur going to visit Kirk after the ACL and lost to check on him and give his support. Kirk, hold on, I want to finish this here. Mullins in shotgun, dropping back, throwing deep right. That's nothing. Wow, that's to nobody. That's out of bounds. Jefferson was there with Valentine.
4th and 4 for Minnesota.
Kirk said it surprised him after a loss and has stuck with him all season. You know, Matt LaFleur, see, I really hesitate to go off on Matt LaFleur not being a good leader or being overly soft, because he does things like that. And I know that that's not exactly hardcore to go visit a dude in the hospital, but it is leadership. It is just being
Mullins
character.
Shotgun, taking the snap, rolling back. He's running around looking for somebody. And intercepted, but I don't think it's going to count.
Nope.
Regardless.
Turnover on downs. Turnover on downs. What I do think LaFleur is I think LaFleur is an undying optimist. Like, he may sound pessimistic at times, but when it comes to his people and who he likes and who he appreciates, he's willing to give them so many chances because he's willing to let them turn it around. And that's what we're seeing with Joe Barry, is that LaFleur's deep set faith and optimism in his friends is to a fault almost. And I think that that's why we've seen some of the curious personnel switches over the last 3 years as well, giving guys more experience versus young bucks who may want to play, because LaFleur's playing guys that he knows and guys that he believes in. And it's could very well be to a fault. Scott, a lot of talk on Pack dropping Jones. Your thoughts? I don't think they're going to. I think this offseason is going to be just like last offseason. There was a lot of talk last year of Aaron Jones is getting old. He's getting expensive. We got to move on. But he's definitively the team leader, like in a lot of different ways. Pair that with he still is capable of games like the last 2 weeks, 2 games in a row now, over 120 yards rushing. I think this is going to play out exactly like last offseason did, where there's a lot of speculation about Aaron Jones going on. And then we hear about Jones taking some kind of pay cut, some kind of contract restructure, etc. But they figure out a way to keep him in Green Bay, which is what, by all accounts, both parties have always wanted. Steve saying, is Mullins trying to look like Favre in the face after every throw? Maybe. maybe he's emulating. I did see the telecast, compare the two earlier. Commando G-Man, I'm thinking Green Bay gets the Peacock game, and I'll be mad.
I sure hope not.
There are going to be a lot of Wisconsin free weeks going on that week, like free trials and whatnot. No doubt about that. My thing, I think it's absolute bullcrap that the NFL can take a game and put it on an exclusive streamer. That's nonsense. And I especially feel that way in the modern environment that so many of these stadiums are publicly supported through financing. And I'm not debating whether or not that should be occurring. I'm just saying it is occurring. Right. Public money is going towards these stadiums. And then to have the actual games played in the stadium and put behind a paywall of a streamer, no, that doesn't sit well with me at all. I'm with you, Commando. Like Hebbles, from my understanding, Matt LaFleur had a sharp of tongue and had a short temper. AR-12 said he would often rile him up on purpose to make him see how easy it is to get him hot. Just an interesting storyline. I'm with you. Like, I do recall that. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe LaFleur does have that quick trigger. That's where the hard old schoolness of LaFleur comes in. Mick, I want to say this right away. It's hard to imagine such a quality defensive game without Jonathan Ford. Just doing my job. Mick, your commitment to the bit is so commendable. You are the president of the Jonathan Ford fan club. I love it.
All right, 1st and 10, hand it off to Taylor, who brings it up for a 6-yard gain, I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Doler Hyde's now here. Sorry, I missed 99% of your watch party. What a performance, though. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for stopping in at all, Doler Hyde. But yeah, all the way around for Green Bay tonight. Yeah. It hasn't been perfect. They have left some points on the field, but offensively, defensively, special teams, all have had at least glimpses of their full potential, which has been great to see. And then also saying Happy New Year to both. Thanks for all your content. Well, thank you, Doler Hyde. We really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you as well. Let's see here. Like Hebbles also saying, TV also said Jones got a bit anxious about not playing, worrying that he would lose his ability to speak up as a leader and motivator because he was not playing. Let's see, handoff up the middle.
Clifford in the game, just so you know.
There it is. Yeah, see, and the thing is, like we talked about that a bit with the Jair situation this week. Not that I'm saying Jair's injury wasn't real, wasn't relevant, or that he was sitting on a purpose or whatever. But I think Jones has a very good point. It's very, very difficult to be a leader in the locker room when you're not going out there and playing every week. So in the case of someone like Jair, it's very difficult to have this certain level of bravado, or, in Jair's case, I think you can say it, cockiness, when you miss half the season and you're still making quotes while you're out. Eventually, I think that message does kind of fall on deaf ears in a locker room. Another carry for Patrick Taylor, who finds a seam. He gets it all the way up. That's a first down plus a bunch, getting it to about the 29-yard line. So I think that's a perfectly valid concern from Aaron Jones, because that's the reality of being in a locker room. So I'm glad to hear that. I just want to catch up here. William saying Matt is a reactionary tough guy, which makes the Packers unprepared to play their early games. You must be tough when you teach. Yeah, on the whole, I think you've got to have high standards when you teach, for sure. And I think reactionary tough guy is maybe actually a really good way to say it when it comes to Matt LaFleur. That he's got a short temper that will show itself, but does so in a moment. It's not a standard school of mood
Gain of
for
1
Matt
by
LaFleur,
Taylor.
if you will.
2nd and 9.
So maybe that's a really good way to say it, William. I hadn't thought of it like that, reactionary tough guy, but maybe that's a good portion of it. Dan saying backup QB signing. Yep, Clifford is in. Steve want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you, Steve, and everyone. Thanks for being here. Steve saying, well, okay, let's beat Chicago and not crap the bed like we did last year against Detroit.
Yep. Would be nice.
By the way, I don't know if I'll talk about this on the channel this week, but I do just want to say, while it's just friends here, in my preseason schedule prediction video, if you go back to August and watch the 2-part series, I'm fairly certain I actually said that they would beat Minnesota and then lose to Chicago and fall just short of the playoffs. If that comes into fruition, sorry, just saying. Maybe don't go back. Maybe I should take down that video. Sorry. Okay. Yep,
I know
Steve.
you can't burn internet, but like burn it. Salt and burn.
Kebble's saying Gary, of all people, took a more background role when he got his ACL tear. Shows it really is what you have done lately, league, when that guy says he needed to take a step back. Yep. It's just, that's natural. And Rashawn Gary especially is a little bit more like, he is a team leader. He's willing to get into guys' faces, but he is a little bit more of a introverted fellow. So yeah. I think that's just part of the natural culture of a locker room. You know, you've got to actually be playing to lead the guys who are playing. Let's see here. Clifford under center takes a snap, hands it off to Patrick Taylor. Gain of a couple as the clock continues to wind on down. Scott saying, thank you, John and Claudia. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Scott.
Thank you for being here.
Anthony, still here, fam? Just having dinner with you in the background.
I love it.
We appreciate you being here, man. Kebble's Packers game will be at 3:25 on Sunday, apparently. Okay, cool. Sounds good to us. We'll be here. And I should say, too, if they make the playoffs, however far they go in the playoffs, we'll be here.
Ruh-roh.
No.
We got down. Don't let it be Patrick Taylor. I think it might be.
I don't think that's the right skin tone.
No. That's true.
Okay, Sean Ryan talking to LaFleur. Oh, okay. Steve says Josh Myers is down. Like, Myers hurt. Okay. So Josh Myers, starting center, is the one who's currently down. Oh yeah, his head got knocked. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to speculate on concussions, but that's like his head got knocked and then his body went weak. That
when you huddle up and fall to the ground, it ain't that good.
That generally is not the toughest diagnosis to make. So hopefully Myers is okay. Just check around here. Scott, if we make the playoffs, probably get San Francisco, which means one and done. No, we went in the first round because San Francisco clinched the first seed today, didn't they? Pretty sure they did. So that would leave Frisco out because that would give them a bye into round 2. So round 1, if the Packers hypothetically are the 7 seed, they'd be taking on the 2, which could be, yeah, I see Steve saying it, Dallas, could be Philly, depending on how next week shakes out. So yeah, we'll have to see. But Scott, I don't think it can be San Francisco because I'm fairly certain they clinched the bye today, didn't they? Or at least the 1 seed. So, but yeah, I gotta tell you, if they wind up having to go on the road to Dallas, which happens to be a stadium that they have never lost in, and got to go play a playoff since Mike McCarthy, woo, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
At least Myers is walking off, so probably a concussion protocol on that one.
All right, Clifford. Whoa!
Aaron are out.
Whoa! Clifford with a rainbow to Bo Melton down the middle of the field. That one's got to feel good for Clifford.
I love it.
And that gets him all the way up to the 30-yard line. Bo, I think Bo's probably leading receiver today.
I think so, especially with Reed leaving.
Yeah.
I think he might be.
Because I know Reed was at 6 for 89 when he left. I think this one's got to push Bo over that. So, wow. Bo. Oh, we love Bo. All right. Let's minute 5 to go in the game. And the Green Bay Packers are kneeling this one out. There you have it, everybody. So the Green Bay Packers taking care of business in Minnesota. That sets them up next week, taking on Chicago in Lambeau. We've been told it looks like the game is going to be 3:25 on Sunday. In Lambeau. Just keep it loose. In Lambeau. 3:25 game. It's appearing per Lake Hebbles for the playoffs. Packers win next week, and they're in. If they lose next week, they need like 8 other things to happen. So basically, win and in, lose and probably not. But huge victory for the Green Bay Packers tonight. Now, with that, Doler Hyde, so sign Bo to the 53.
That's right.
1,000% agreement. They got to get that done. And I think they will do it this week. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. Just want to catch up on a couple of comments here. Well, a Packers win and love helped me get my fantasy football championship win. And there you go. Anthony saying victory, and yeah, Green Bay Dallas would be fun. Yes, it would. Lekebos, happy New Year. All happy New Year to you, Anthony. Happy New Year to all. Truly appreciate you guys. Well, thank you. Steve, John, and Claudia in a helicopter next week. We told you, Steve.
Done, Steve.
Set up the GoFundMe. We'll do it. We'll float over Lambeau for a game. You betcha. But seriously, folks, thank you to everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for putting up with my coughing. It was a lot of fun. Great victory for the Green Bay Packers. God. Ooh, Booth and Aaron Jones after the game.
Scott, your comment came up exactly exactly when it came up on our telecast. What the heck?
Booth, how much of an ass you got to be to punch Aaron Jones?
After the game ended.
Especially Aaron Jones. Oh, okay. So Booth was actually chatting it up with what looked like some injured Packer there.
And then things were getting heated.
And then Jones
got in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
All right.
What the heck?
And now Aaron Jones is pointing around like, I don't know what the hell that dude's deal is. All right, everybody. We out. Thanks so much for being here. Sincerely, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for joining us tonight year round. Yes, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Tonight, go have fun, go celebrate the victory. We'll see how I'm feeling, to be totally frank. I don't know if I'll put out a video tomorrow morning, but
if you want to keep seeing this face, go head over to the Bleacher Report app. He'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going to make something up. So thanks, everybody, for being here. For sure, on Wednesday, we will resume our normal live Q&A Wednesday afternoon. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Hope you have a very, very happy New Year. Have a wonderful and safe night tonight. And as always, go Pack, go.